Oh, there's an explosion on this screen too.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that that's what you meant. I was very confused by your meaning.
Well,
of the hat.
I don't know. It was an idea, but you know, it's maybe it's stupid looking. I don't know. I think you're Moogle.
No, I think it's fun.
Well, we'll do it occasionally. We'll do it occasionally.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I also have an on-brand cup.
That's nice. What does it say though? Oh, cactus. Okay, I'm gonna. It looked like it said gag toir.
I mean, if that's your kink, you know.
Somebody's probably into it.
We got donations in already. Yo,
Wait.
plasma.
Wait.
Let's go.
Wait, hold
Asha,
on.
let's
Oh
go.
shoot! Oh shoot! Oh shoot! So I said every $10, I will
shoot,
put.
You're so cooked.
Okay. So that's 50.
You got 5. Yeah, you
5
got
eyes.
put 5.
All right.
You're cooked. I should do something, but I didn't come prepared.
That's okay. Thank you for the resubs, by the way, guys. Kimchi, 60 months? That's actually absurd to me that we've known each other that long.
Can I tell everyone what we just discovered, what we were just talking about before we
Yeah.
were live?
Yeah, you can.
I thought of this today because I wanted to do something like this because I know a lot of friends that do it. That, you know how like streamers do the Smash Brothers lobbies and it's like the CPU versus CPU and then like people bet and you just watch them fight and like streamers commentate. I was like, we have Dissidia. Like, there's gotta be, and I was trying to remember, and I was talking about this earlier today. I was like, there's gotta be one. I was like, I know some versions of Dissidia don't let you do it, like a one-on-one with just computers, but we discovered that we can. And we're very excited about it. And we might do it, and we might not. And we might not, but we might. I don't know. I'm putting chapstick on because it's getting my lips dry with excitement.
Okay.
That's all you should know. Lips are dry with excitement.
I think it's a cool
potential.
idea. Hi, Austin.
do it.
Hello, everybody.
I could pick who I think could win. Okay, Kefka.
Yeah, I actually, dang, that sucks because I would probably pick Kefka too.
I can pick Adea or Ultimisha. I mean, she's
those
in
are
there.
good ones. Yeah. Wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You look great.
Is that it? That's 25, 25. That's 50, 10. I'm just. Oh my god, that was loud. Hold on. Is that kimchi?
Oh, fuck. Oh, you are so cooked. I feel like I have to do something. I don't have eyes.
Kimchi, thank you, but how many eyes do I have to put on my face now? I don't want to do.
Do you have that many?
I have a lot of eyes. We're good. We're good. Do I have enough space?
$600 worth of eyes.
Get somebody, just 2? No, I gotta put on more.
You have to do 60.
I think the
We're doing the
concern.
math.
Okay, so the concern isn't having eyes. It's like space for the eyes. Also, Steve.
Yeah, Steve came out here with a hundo.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 60 eyes.
Only say. Good thing I got these little eyes. I'm gonna be sitting here putting eyes on all night. Eyes on
Also,
B.
another idea is you could auction off those
Hold on.
CPUs.
My children
Make
are breaking the rules already. They're
Oh.
horsey riding behind me. I told them to stay away from the camera out of respect for themselves. And no matter what, they want to be on camera. They're drawn to it.
It was actually really cute in our little prep call. There was like a moment where it was definitely a little, like you said, starstruck or just like.
Yeah, no, she was. Allowing
she
one
sends me pictures of, you know.
allowing one
pictures
skin to
of
breathe.
snails.
Yeah, my skin's not gonna be breathing. No. Guys, hey. Oh my.
You
Thank you.
This is
Thank you.
incredible.
Maybe, and you know what's funny? Earlier I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I should do $5 per eye.
No.
I'm
feel
glad
like
I should have done
that's.
$20 an eye.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great with the eyes. I
Can
think
somebody
we're
give me
doing
a
great.
count of eyes? I don't know how many I'm just gonna keep putting eyes on. Thank you guys. It's for a great cause.
We love the NCA.
We do. And this is my 3rd year raising money for Say It Louder. And we did some last week. We did what was it? Baldur's Gate modded. It was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
I don't understand the focus on the eyeballs. Well, my name is Eyes on B, and this is how I always used to fundraise. But also, I'm not usually on camera. Hey, girls, you are not allowed over here. Oh, she wants to see the googly eyes?
Googly eyes on.
Okay.
Priorities.
Hey, no.
I'm not a googly eye.
You have to go over there. Okay. I am putting the googly eyes on.
For me.
For you?
Ah.
Can you say thank
Hi,
you for
bestie.
Thank you, Ty.
what? Hey.
Thank you. Thank you, Ding. Thank you.
Dee
Thank you.
didn't donate.
I didn't do that.
Dee's
take the
just
credit.
along for the ride, babe. Like, it's okay. Okay, can you guys stop horsey back riding past the camera? Well, you can horsey back ride on that side of the house, but you cannot cross here, okay?
We
Exactly.
love it. Welcome. New to Twitch, and here is like the best place to be.
New to Twitch. Man, they could, but that's not gonna work. But okay.
They could go to bed. They could.
They could.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's not currently. No. Okay. So I'm gonna start off
Yes.
with a question.
Okay.
Well, I already know what Final Fantasy you started with, so like that doesn't work as well. But I think something that's really interesting, and I just want to make sure you guys can hear D okay, right? Can you guys hear music, or do you just hear my children yelling? 42? I do have eyes on the back of my head now, actually. I should put them on. You hear music? Okay, cool. But do you hear D?
I'm
have
a
a
very
fake-
loud person.
I'll tell them that, Rem. Music is very quiet but audible. I don't know why YouTube's so loud. Anyways, I think something that's really interesting is, since you're somebody who's also played a lot of these games in your childhood, how do you find coming back and playing games you grew up on in this series, and as an adult? Like, how is playing them as an adult for you?
I know you can agree with this because we've talked about this. I feel like it's like, to me, watching a television series again 10 years later. Like, I make a point of watching certain series every 10 years to like see if I relate to it differently. And I feel like with FF especially, it has changed my ranking so much. If you had me rank them when they were released, it would be such a different list than if you had me rank them now. And even compared to my video, I did like a tier list like
Me
a few years
too.
ago.
2023, right before 16 came out, right?
Yes, we both
Yeah.
did. Mine is so different now from that.
Me too. Oddly enough.
And it's like so bizarre. And I think it's like different experience. Like, I've dealt with way more grief in the last like 3 years than I had prior. So like that's changed my perspective on certain storylines that focus on that more. Or like I'm noticing things where I'm like, oh, like maybe I was forcing myself to resonate with this, but now I'm realizing this is more important to me or whatnot. Or I'm just more patient. Like Final Fantasy VIII is the perfect example.
That's a big one for me too.
I was like fine with it when it came out. I liked it. I didn't hate it as much as like my friends did. Now I'm obsessed with it. And like every year, every time I replay it, I find something else new that I love in there, something that I think was missed. And it gets higher and higher and higher and higher. Whereas like 10 was like so high when I first played it. It was like top 3. And now it like barely cracks my top 10.
Same. And I get a lot of shit for that too.
Same. I was talking about this earlier today on my stream. The only fandoms, like I know Final Fantasy fans are scary in general, but the only ones that really come from my throat or like send me threats or are really scary are 7 and 10 fans. Because I don't put those games up high enough for them.
6 is the one I get daily comments on YouTube. You know, this would be good if 6 was a little bit higher. And I explicitly say 6 isn't high because it's the one I haven't played most recently. And when I replay it, I have a feeling it'll change. I just like it's not sticking with me. I'm not remembering as much as I'd like to. And it doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's just not sticking with me, you know? So,
I don't know if you get this, but like I always, when people are like, what's the first one I should play? That's like such a loaded question. And I think it's really different from person to person. Like if somebody, whoever's asking me that, I'm going to tailor it to them. But like 90% of the time I say 4. Right. And that's when the 6 fans speak up and they're like, what? Blah, 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 blah. Why wouldn't you say 6 first? And I'm like, 6 is, first of all, if someone's new to RPGs, very intimidating, super overwhelming. And the equipment management in that game, there's like so much going on. And I can't, I'm like, I couldn't in good conscience recommend that to somebody new. And I love that game. It's in my top 3. But like, I understand why people are like, nah. I mean, I can fix Kefka and I will. But I don't know, like, how do you answer that question when people are like, what's the first one I play?
Mine evolves every time I play the games is what I find because, and I find not negatively. Like, so I did a tier list around the same time as you in 2023. And then I just did one in the middle of last year. What are you guys doing? You're playing Christmas, but you're wrestling?
That's how Santa does it.
Hey, girls. Can you, the wrestling, they choose the time to wrestle. I love it. So for me though, like I found there were some pretty interesting. Hold on. Rosie, can you come here? Rosie, can you come here, please? Come here. I'll be right back. BRB, everyone. I
got this.
Oh, well, yeah, if you want to do, wait, hold on. I'm gonna hold on.
I'm gonna get these charity donations.
I'm still trying to
ridiculous to put on my face.
That's, you know what, this works. You got it. I'll be.
I'm trying to think. Okay, listen. Every single time someone donates $10, I'll add a Tom Hanks to my screen. No, it can't be Tom Hanks today. I'll put a different Final Fantasy character on my thing. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm left to my own devices. On my stream, we just put Tom Hanks everywhere, but I'm realizing I'm somewhere else, so I can't just add Tom Hanks to things. Or can I? No, on a real note though, anybody who doesn't know me, I am a pediatric nurse before I was a full-time streamer. So I worked with kids all the time. So NCA is like, this is my jam. This is one of my favorite charities to raise money for. And I'm really happy that B asked me to do this. And isn't B so cool? In general. Also, I can fix Kefka because I can fix anybody. I can also fix Kane and have Kane stick to one side and not go from, oh, Cecil, we need to destroy this child. They've seen too much, to, yeah, you're right, fuck the king, to, oops, I did it again. I can fix them all. Have you met me? I'm the most stubborn person alive. I could definitely fix Kefka. He's just like going through something right now and he's like lashing out. And I think once he realizes that all he and I have to do is like go on a beautiful romantic train ride together, he'll straighten out. Yeah, I feel like me and Kane could like figure it out though. Like, have you seen dem thighs? Like, I'll introduce him to Agatha, and then he'll swoon. This is my daughter, everybody. She would love it if you donated to the NCA. No, Seymour, I'm not bothering. He can stay. He can stay in his bad ways. I don't really have time for that. I brought Agatha here. She's helping us raise money. She loves charity.
Oh wow, you brought out Agatha. I love it. I love to see it.
She wants to raise money for the NCA today.
Oh my gosh, I haven't actually. I feel like somehow witnessed her full glory.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's really overwhelming. It's really her full glories in person when you smell her.
Oh really?
She does have like a mildew scent.
Oh, okay, that sounds right. Yeah. Wow.
And like a little bit of cigarettes.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie.
Whoever made that really like nailed it. I love it.
I think so. I think she said her favorite Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy 12.
It's up there for me. All right.
That was a good taste.
They wanted eyes. That was the scenario. They wanted eyes.
Oh.
They were jealous that I have so many eyes, and I told them I needed the eyes because did I look outside? What's outside? Why would you what?
I tried to find something like stickers, but I don't have any.
Oh, you're
I
okay.
mean, I do, but they're missing.
Yo, what's up, Deej?
Oh, I just found stickers.
Oh. You can put stickers on in solidarity.
Yeah,
right?
every $10 from here on out, I'll put stickers on my face.
Oh my gosh. Hello. How's it going? How's King's Quest 7? I played that for the first time last year. Goon Cave.
King's Quest. I love King's Quest.
It was good. Oh, my dog didn't bark until now. Iris is here. Hi, Iris. I don't mind I have eyes on my face. She's like, are you streaming for charity?
I love that she knows. Oh my god, is that SNES? Is that my bestie? Hey,
yeah,
bestie.
he's gonna try fixing the sound somehow. What? Oh, what do you mean?
Put Tom Hanks. I can do both. You know what? At $50, I'll put Tom Hanks on screen. $50, you get Tom Hanks. Otherwise, you get stickers.
Oh, I was up all the way. I thought.
Tech support SNES.
Are you trying to say hi, Iris? Nobody can see you. Dee can see you, I think.
I can see Iris.
You're showing her.
They can't see. I don't
tap
think.
shoes. No, they can't.
I have way more camera than Kat has.
Thank you. Okay. Do you want to put some on me? Can you guys hear her now? By the way, because apparently there's still issues, and I don't know what to do. I don't know. Here, actually, I do know what to do. I'm gonna turn Chrome down.
Schneck support.
Is that better?
Schneck support. Meh.
We heard the yes. I can hear everyone. I heard a yeah. What did you just come into? I don't know.
Charity.
Eyes. We're raising money for the NCA. Talking about Final Fantasy. D is still a little low.
I mean, I can start screaming, but
Hold on.
it'll wake up everyone in my house.
No, don't do that. No, and you know what's wild? Oh wait, I know what it is.
Choo choo.
Hold on. I'm doing my mixer thing.
I'm a very loud person. I can turn my mic up. I have it pretty modest because I get very nervous when I stream with other people because I'm a loud, obnoxious person.
No, you're okay. Yeah, Discord's up all the way. You're not obnoxious.
Oh my god, it's like the nicest thing anyone has said to me in the past 5 hours. Thank you.
Oh. I had it all the way to... I'm losing eyes already. Okay. Well,
Tech support SNES. Tech support SNES.
Yeah.
Tech support SNES.
And
donate to charity.
okay. Now that we can hear rip eyes. Yeah, they're gonna keep falling off. Don't put it on my nose. That's like the last. It's gonna fall off the moment you put it on my nose. True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nose. It's like these, my stickers, like they don't, I'll put one on for solidarity, but like they don't, they will, nose is a no-no.
Oh, so before I got interrupted, one of the ones that was like different for me as I started to replay the series. So it's funny, this song is playing. It's an FF3 song. I replayed 1 through 4 this year. I did the PSP versions of 1 and 2.
My favorite version.
Those are my favorite versions too, and I feel like replaying them kind of solidified that for me after playing the Pixel remasters. I just think, I mean, the GBA versions are nice too, but
yeah.
I enjoy that. But 3 is consistently my least favorite, and it's not because I don't like it. I think it's fine. I had a lot more appreciation for it this time. And I've played the 3D version a few times before, but I really had fun with it this time. It's not my favorite again still, but like I feel like when I do another tier list, it's probably going to be a little bit higher up.
I love that.
I got
it took me many years to appreciate 3. I think that's the one that probably took me, that and 15 probably, and in terms of like hours. I mean, years for 3, but like even 15, it took me so long to really actually appreciate anything about that game. It took me a long time.
It's always going to be my least favorite final dungeon, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
It hurts.
Especially in the 3D version. Because, yeah. But you know, what's interesting is that when you play 10 kind of rehashes that same dungeon again at the end. When you go like on the way to Yevon, and that was actually a fun thing. Oh, she's putting stuff on me.
My favorite moments in 10 are when it does kind of call back. Like I feel like it calls back rarely, but when it does, I'm like, oh shit, this is perfect.
That's a good question.
That is the best question.
It works in many ways. I did bump it up. It is 15, which we're not far off from, by the way. I don't know how many. I'll tell you, I have not been counting how many eyes I put on me, so we're just going for it.
Yeah. Just yell at me when I have to. I can't see it right now, so yell at me when I have to put stickers on my face. Or Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. What's up, honey?
I'll add a Tom Hanks to the screen.
Okay. So another one.
Okay, I'm ready. I dropped something and I don't know where it went, so we're just gonna live in mystery. I'm ready.
Okay. What are my current? This is more of a rant than anything, and I'd be curious. Okay, one of my biggest pet peeves about Final Fantasy fans right now specifically is that it feels like everybody dunks on Nomura.
Yeah.
For things that are like literally it is not his fault for half the stuff he gets blamed for.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
Okay, go ahead. I'd love to hear it.
The things that people like when you, oh my God. Okay. My favorite, I know you do this too. My favorite thing to do when people do that is I go, what's your favorite part of Final Fantasy VII? Since that's always their favorite game anyway. But I'm like, what's your favorite part of Final Fantasy VII? And then they will always say an exact contribution that is attributed to the devs from Nomura. Every time.
I know. And here's the thing. Because I got into this today for somebody who is like, Nomura is on my dream team, but he's banned from the writing room. He's got to do character design, monster design, but he's not, and I'm not going to name names, but you guys probably know who posted that shit. And I QRT'd it on Twitter, and I was like, listen, it really drives me insane how many people blame him for the writing. He is more of like the conceptual story guy, but he is not the actual writer. And the funny thing I have noticed about the people who will like specifically dunk on Remake who, by the way, all the same development team for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they know the game better than any of us ever could.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that there, for some reason, is this hesitancy to ever blame Nojima. And I think it's because it doesn't work for the narrative that the golden age that so many people tout as like the best writing, which I don't disagree. It doesn't work because it's all the same writer for the most part, except for like 12. I don't know if Nojima did 13, Kingdom Hearts, like all of that. And it's just like, I understand not everybody understands what each role is. And frankly, I don't know for sure that even the staff at Square Enix knows what they're responsible for.
No.
In the creative field. But I'm like, if you work in a creative field, you have a better understanding of how these things kind of work. And I feel like the average gamer isn't even supposed to have a dang clue about it. She's counting how many eyes. 50 eyes, by the way.
We saw this with the Expedition 33, and not to go into that whole conversation, but we saw this at the Game Awards where people were like, oh my God, how did it lose sound design with that music? And I'm like, do you not know what sound design is? Because they think score and sound design are the same things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's not the same thing. Those are two different things.
I'll put this
a lot of people who broadcasted that game had a very clear issue with the sound balancing in that game. But with the Nojima and the Nomura stuff, I think the other thing too that people really clung to, and I don't know if this has been your experience talking to people about this, I think it's a keen difference between Sakaguchi's approach to like theory crafting, where he was kind of like, I hate it. I don't want to look online and see what anyone says. It is what it is. I'm putting it out there. You can have it, but I'm not like really diving into theory crafting. Like, it's for you to have that conversation, and that it is what it is, and that's our story, signed, sealed, delivered, done. Whereas Nomura is like,
Hanks,
I love theory. Oh, I got it, Tom Hanks. Okay. Nomura is like, I want all the theory crafting to happen. We love that. He like listens to what fans are saying, and it's like, it's just a different ideology, and whether you agree or not, it's just a difference. It's just a difference.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Tom. Oh,
he's here. He loves Final Fantasy.
Biblically accurate B. Yeah, that's me today.
I get so heated about that though, because if you ask those people what is their favorite thing, they'll be like, I love this more than 7. And I'm like, 7 was like the most collaborative effort of those people, and he had a say in so much of it.
When we hopped on the call, I was telling you, I had somebody who responded to me, I was not aware of this. Are there any articles that prove that he is not the writer? And I was like, my brother in Christ, it is in the credits.
Right. Look at that credit roll.
Yeah.
No, they need it fed to them though.
No, and I mean, to be fair, it's weird because it says, okay, maybe this isn't a good spot, but you can probably do right here. Get started right there. It does say story. Story is by Sakaguchi and Nomura. Script is by Kitase and Nojima. So here's the way I think the 4 of these guys, they probably sat down, they had ideas. I think that Nomura is the guy who's like, I got all these ideas.
You do something with these ideas, please.
He's got a lot of wild ideas. I don't think a lot of the stuff that he is trying to do ever really makes it to the final draft. And I think the other thing that's frustrating specifically about him is that he was one of the people who didn't want Remake to change. Kitase has said in interviews, numerous interviews, that like, that's something that was defended by specifically Nomura. I'm probably mixing the names up at this point because Nojima, and I think that's the other part of the problem, is Nojima and Nomura, very similar names.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to, whatever, mess it up. But I think I think a lot of things, and it's weird because I also asked someone today because they're like, oh, I thought Rebirth just had a very Nomura ending, and I was like, what do you mean by that? What does it mean to have a Nomura ending? Well, it's very Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, Kingdom Hearts was also written by Nojima.
Mm-hmm. With Nomura's concepts.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. I think this whole like Nomura conversation for me always boils down to like the example is the opening of Final Fantasy VIII, which I have a lot of beef with, as you know. Like I get it. It's visually stunning. It's beautiful. I get it. But it doesn't, in all Final Fantasy's openings, I feel like it serves the least. And it is giving very little to, like, yes, it makes sense later on. It ties into things. I get it. But it is, to me, I'm like, this is just visual spectacle, and it could be a trailer. Like, it's just not my, I'm like, I need Cecil on the Red Wing. Or like, I need Echo Terrorism. Like, I just need like something else in my FF intros. Nomura directed that opening.
Oh.
And even still with that happening, it's like, that is an example of someone that has a concept that is really cool. Because conceptually, that opening is stellar. It is so cool. It's very cinematic. Looking. It's so cinematic. And everybody loves that. Like, I very rarely meet people who don't like that opening. Whether you think it serves the plot or not. You know, I prefer the original opening like of 8 in the demo, where he starts right at the Dalit mission and it's like kind of like busy, so much is happening. But like, it's the same example where I'll show people that I'm like, oh, do you like the intro to 8? What do you like about it? And they'll be like, oh, it's just like, it has an energy, it has a vibe, like it really gets you excited. And I'm like, well, that's him.
Exactly.
So like, are you gonna say that's cringe or like it's too high concept? Because it's doing the same exact thing. It's a bunch of goddamn questions. It's like, when you be there, you will find me, and you're like, who? But nobody cared because they thought it was cool. But now it's like, okay, well now I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to be like, this isn't cool anymore. It's just very interesting to me.
No,
it's cool. It's fine to be like, it's not for me, but to attack the man when he's like not even responsible for the thing you're upset about.
Exactly. I mean, well, the other one that cracks me up is the end and all of the theories to FF8. And the iconic moment in which there was an interview, thank you, Iris, with Kataze, where he was debunking all kinds of rumors. And I feel like in the actions of that, he kind of unlocked something for me in how they write. I don't think that they are always on the same page with their intentions, because he went on to say, well, one of the most popular fan theories of Final Fantasy VIII he had never heard of before, and it was that
Squall is dead.
Spoilers. Actually, no, he likes Squall is dead. He said that.
Yeah, that was the one that he was like, yeah, maybe we'll tie that in the future. Yeah. Yeah.
So he likes Squall is dead. He said, if we ever remade it, maybe we'll implement that. He did not like Renoa is Ultimisia. And then and so like that spread like wildfire. People talk about it all the time. And do you have an Olipop?
I do. Why?
Oh, because Iris noticed and she's jealous. That's all.
I'd share with her if I could. It's
oh, that's the best one. That's my favorite. But
I agree.
So about a week after that interview posted, he did this panel and he redacted it. He said, I did this interview and everybody's talking about how I dismissed this theory. I'd never heard of it before. And I just want to say I'm sorry. Perhaps that wasn't my intention with those characters, but it doesn't mean it wasn't the other writer's intention. I'm like, how are you not all on the same page?
They're
That's kind of a hot mess. Like, that's kind of the problem to begin with that game. And I think that is why there are parts, like, I think it's a great game. But it gets convoluted because I think, especially in that era, as much as we love it, they all had their hands in different pots. Like Nomura was
Yeah.
doing 7, 8, 9, Parasite Eve, and who knows what else at that time. And they were putting these
Sakaguchi's making movies.
right. Like I think that there's just a tendency for it to be kind of a hot mess. And that's what's so weird when we look at how critical people are about the games that are coming out now. Because like some of the things people say are corny and don't like they're bad, so to speak, are things that for some reason got a pass before, and I've never really understood what determines that for people. I always
Right.
considered that as kind of like a core piece of what Final Fantasy is. There's serious and there's funny, and it's
Yeah.
the balance that makes me like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think my issue with Rebirth was that for me,
I lost an eye.
that balance felt off. And
Mhm.
like that to me, and I was like, there's so much to that and why that is. And I genuinely don't really feel like that's on the writing so heavily. And I know that makes people mad. Like I think there's so many, and I think it's like you said, there's so many cooks in that kitchen.
Yep.
It's a miracle that the games were as good as they were. And like I so often am just like, yeah, I feel like maybe we just got very lucky for a long period of time. It's like,
Yeah, gaming is so new still too. Like all things considered, we're still, I think everything is still really being figured out, where music and movies, those things have been around a lot longer. But even then there were different eras of that too. And
Yeah.
I hope Square is learning from things right now. I don't think they're a perfect company by a long shot. I don't think anybody is out there saying that kind of thing, even though I see
Right.
people who assume that of me, and I don't really get that, because I openly say, like, I don't agree. 2022 was a hot mess of them releasing stuff, and I couldn't keep up with it as a consumer, as a creator. None of that stuff, I could not keep up with it, and that was, to me, very flawed. I actually thought until maybe the past year, Square was kind of a hot mess. I actually thought they were on a better track until they laid everybody off recently.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like I've been so vocal in my disappointment and anger about that
Mm-hmm.
too, alone. Like that this like the timing too of being like, oh, we're gonna focus more on AI, and then laying off all these people who you and me and a lot of us have built relationships with.
Yeah, they were like the
over the
only
years.
stepping stone between, you know, actually being heard. And that's the thing that's really sad, because I don't know, like 5 years ago, we both were like, we'd always have people who come to us about Final Fantasy stuff, but they'd be like, well, why doesn't Square ever work with you? And I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't notice us. So
Right.
it felt like, you know, we kind of reached a point where someone finally recognized who we were, which is nice. But
yeah.
I don't know that that's going to continue at all, since they just let everyone go. Everything feels incredibly
Everyone's gone.
out of touch. And I think another thing when it comes to like Nomura, this extends into all of the creatives that we love specifically. Thank you for putting an eye on. I think that people blame and dunk on a lot of the devs for things that are completely not their choice. I think it's
Yeah.
the money guys that make a lot of the choices that are incredibly out of touch. I think it was last week, I went through that 100-page slide deck made by the shareholders, and I think it was on Monday, it was reported that their shares went up slightly. And I'm like, the slide deck worked. Their slide deck was slander. It was completely out of touch. It was them basically trying to convince other shareholders to give up their shares so that they can pressure Square into following the things that they're saying.
Yeah.
I am really distracted by the amount of eyes I have on my face right now.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep doing charity things.
I'm trying my best, but yeah. And hey, that's capitalism, I guess. That's where we're at right now with almost everything.
Yeah.
My daughter going, capitalism 6'7". I'm like, 6'7"? I have 67 eyes on? Okay.
I'll do a Tom Hanks for $50 donos, and for every 10, I'll put a sticker on.
Do you have like multiple Tom Hanks prepared?
Oh, have you met me?
Well,
I had a day where I was doing this for subs, and we had the whole screen covered in Hanks. I have a Tom Hanks folder.
Oh. I don't know how I missed that.
Spirits Within is a whole other conversation, because I'll defend that movie till I'm blue in the face, and Sakaguchi's original vision for it. And write a book.
Ruby is just saying something right now.
Gaia, man. Gaia. I hate, my biggest thing about Spirits Within that I hear every day in my, and we have this conversation in stream today. I am so tired, B, of hearing, well, it just isn't Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm like, you're gonna tell me Gaia theory and everything about that theme, life and death, people coming together to overcome adversity, like all of that is not the core storytelling elements of Sakaguchi's Final Fantasies. Like, just because it doesn't have fucking Moogles in it, I'm gonna Tom Hanks it up right now. It's like, it's just bizarre. And also, like, we're gonna ignore the fact that Harvey Weinstein and friends were actively trying to sabotage that film because they were afraid that it was going to harm.
I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, they felt it was going to harm the industry. They were like actively lobbying against it in Hollywood.
Of course.
And, you know, I get that there were concerns about like that, like they were concerned because as soon as Sakaguchi came out saying Aki was going to be in multiple films, people were like, oh God, no.
Really? Wow.
They were like terrified that it was going to take work from real actors, which like, who was actually concerned about that?
Yeah, especially now. Like, well, now if that were to happen, nobody would bat an eye about it, which is kind of sad to think about.
Right, we got AI actresses now.
And singers and all of that, so. Oh, what are you doing?
And the other thing was like, that whole tour, like the whole marketing of it, right? Like US studios weren't going to pick that up unless it was Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. Whereas Gucci believed in it enough to be like, no, we put it out there and just call it Gaia Project. We just call it Spirits Within. We don't need to label it. And ironically, the big complaint from everyone was like, it's not Final Fantasy, even though there's a sin in it. Sorry, I get very mad about it. I get very angry about this.
No, I think it's fair. I think it's
great performances, themes that feel like Final Fantasy.
Steve Buscemi as well, by the way.
Great performance too. Huge.
Yeah. Just putting googly eyes on. Oh, you should do it on the frogs.
Oh, I should.
Oh, that's good. Oh my gosh. Hold on. This is good.
You could have slapped 7 on Spirits Within. Right, it has very Final Fantasy 7 centric stuff, which is funny when Sakaguchi was kind of like, uh-oh, we're like going so serious. And he wanted to, like his big thing with 9 was, I need to make these characters have bigger heads. We're getting away from expressive characters. He was concerned about the direction after 7. He was like, oh yeah, 3D is harming our ability to be expressive.
Well, I think he was right like for that too.
Yeah.
But there's another thing, since you were a fan back then, and I think people get kind of surprised to hear this, but there is this weird focus that people have right now on how well the series is selling on the modern titles. And they use that as kind of like a litmus test of like if it's successful or not enough. And I know it's partially Square's own fault because they often say it didn't exceed or our expectations, right? But like that's their expectations. That's none of our business because they're still making the games despite all of that. But to me, I don't consider because it sold well, it means it's a good game. And that kind of goes against a lot of the top selling Final Fantasy games are actually ones that people don't like
Final
as much.
Fantasy 15 sold so well.
It in 24 hours of being released, Final Fantasy 15 had made the amount it cost. It was 5 million, or it was like 5 million units worldwide. And I again, a comment today, oh, well, 15's dog shit, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they never made their money back. I'm like, I don't know where you get your information from because it was widely reported by Square, by like every single reporting agency that did video game news at that time, that it actually sold really well. And it's, I'm not going to say it's a bad game, but like most Final Fantasy fans do not like that game. So it's just, and it's the same for 8. 8, I love 8, you know that, and you love 8, but like, it's still one that people dunk on, but it sold more. It was one of the fastest selling games of its time. And it makes sense when you think 7 was really popular, so people jumped on the train for 8, and then 8 was kind of different. But 9 is so interesting because it wasn't loved when it came out. I don't care what anybody says.
It wasn't.
I had to defend that game so many times because people would be like, oh, well, it's too kid looking. And now...
Well, it also suffered from, if you remember back then, they already announced 10 was coming. And they it was going to be on the PS2, and they were already showing off the PS2. 9 had like no hope of getting people excited at that point. And it was at the end of the PS1's life cycle. It was just like bad timing. Like, and then it had that horrible strategy guide, and all you heard from anybody was how bad the play online was. It was just like set up to fail. Whereas like 7, and people like to erase this part of history, 7 had the most aggressive marketing. It was astronomical. Sony was bankrolling with major TV ads in high, like primetime TV spots all over the United States in a market where these games weren't even considered relevant at the time. They were doing newspaper ads, magazine ads, so many things to push this game. It was, the whole team was like, well, it better be the best selling thing we've ever done with how much money we're throwing at it. Like, there was no way that Sony was going to let that game fall. And like, yeah, word of mouth was really good, but like, no, it is complete denial to say that advertising button didn't make it one of the most successful in the franchise.
And that's why I'm just like, why are you guys so... And I'm not, when I say you guys, I mean fans, because I also have never in my life played a game, not liked the game, and went, it didn't sell well, so it proves my point. It's a bad game. Nobody cares. There's a lot of really great games out there that have hardly sold well. Like, it's not, and you never know with games when it'll get a second win. That happens all the time. And that's kind of what happened with 9. And there's like, I feel like personally a little bit of a revisionist history on that, where maybe since the remaster came out 10 years ago, I feel like people have started to be like, this is my favorite. And I love that one from even back then. So it's weird to see. It's happening with 12 as well. And I'll admit, I'm kind of part of that. I used to not like 12, but I met it where it is as I grew and I experienced more of life. And I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing.
That's the thing. Like, I think it just is a weird... People in general, and I notice that most with RPG fans in genres of gaming, but like, there's this weird like aggressive, if it's not the best one yet, if it's not what I needed it to be or what this franchise represents to me, then the company's a problem and it's losing sight of what it is. And like, I get to define what Final Fantasy is. It's like a weird ownership thing.
Yes.
Whereas like I played 15 and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm not like loving this one. Like it's not for me. And but like I'm so happy. Like this means it's gonna appeal to other people and maybe they'll go and play the other games that I like and we can talk about it. And then I move on with my day. Like I'm not personally offended that 15 and like you and I talked about 16 so much. Like we were like, oh damn, this is like disappointing that maybe the women didn't really get to shine and like this was kind of lost potential and like whatever. And you and I had every reason to like 16. We were so involved in it. But
she's very proud of what
like,
she's done to my arm. I think there's enough eyes at this point, unless more donations go through. But no, I no, you're probably good for now. Okay, I know you really enjoy putting these eyes on me, but I need to say, look, I'm running out of. That's how my eyes are on me.
It's just bizarre. Like I don't know where with RPG fans really heavily. Because I see this, I'm big in the Dragon Quest, like into the Dragon Quest community too, and I see it there also. That like weird, my definition of the franchise has to be it.
Yep.
And like there's no like weird flexibility. I see it with Zelda fans too, as a Zelda 2 fan and a Majora's Mask fan. I see that constantly too.
That's interesting because I actually had this as a question because I haven't really played much Dragon Quest. And that was something that came up to me today as a comparison piece. Actually, let me pull it up. They used Dragon Quest success-wise to compare. And where is it? Let me find. And I was honest. I was like, I have not played enough Dragon Quest to really have like anything in this kind of race. But
I've played them all, so let me at them.
Okay, so I had made a video that, thank you, I saw a couple of you had complimented that I made a video about why I think the Final Fantasy fan base is so divisive 38 years later. And the core of that is essentially it's existed for as long as it has. The games have been different. Everybody has different entry points to it. And so everybody has different expectations at this point. And they're all wildly different. It's going to be impossible to make a title anymore that is going to make every single person happy, no matter what anybody says. And somebody kind of, and it's interesting, we ended up meeting in the middle and agreeing on a lot of what we were saying. But they came at me and they're like, there's a difference between mixing up little things in the combat system and totally throwing everything they worked on to please a supposedly new wave of players they wanted to attract. The differences in comments back from 3 to 12 are so minor, it's always weird calling it a reinvention, in my opinion. And I said, well, when it comes to combat, it's an evolution based off of trial and error through each title. The evolution is very clear, specifically from 1 to 10. 12 is where it was a bit of a deviation, in my opinion, because it plays like a combo of a real-time strategy and MMO. 13 was a direct evolution of 10-2's combat. As for story and design, though, yes, Final Fantasy reinvents itself from FF2 and onward. There are new worlds, new stories, characters, and tone. So they rebuttal with Dragon Quest changes world stories each game as well, and nobody will call that a reinvention. FF1 through 5 had almost the same designs and worlds. Starting from 6, they started becoming more steampunk and modern. And I was like, I don't disagree with you. Oh, they went on about 15, so I'm not going to get into that. They went on about 15. So I said, I haven't played DQ, but from what I know, 1 through 3 and 4 through 6 are connected in their own little bubbles. I'll cross that path eventually. I will play Dragon Quest. I've been saying it forever, but like, I will. But what I wonder is why DQ doesn't seem to appeal to the market outside of Japan as much. Because I wonder if maybe it's the fact that Final Fantasy has such variance in it that is attracting to a wider range of people versus DQ. It kind of seems like the formula is very similar. You know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So would you say that might be what it, like, why do you think that DQ doesn't appeal outside of?
I think it's a barrier of entry. I think there's a bunch of reasons.
Mhm.
One is marketing. They've never ever really properly marketed it here, ever. And they never needed to. They always sold okay. Even Dragon Warrior, when it was relabeled here and released, like, it was fine. So I don't think that there was this like aggressive concern on Enix's part to like make those games a big here, whereas Sakaguchi was like obsessed with that. He was obsessed with being bigger than Dragon Quest. To this day, he says he's always disappointed that he didn't come up with something as iconic as the slime. He never thought Final Fantasy was going to be successful until they met those Dragon Quest like numbers. So I think so much of that is like Final Fantasy was pushing for global success and Dragon Quest kind of was just good where they were at. I don't think people in the States even fully understand how big of a deal Dragon Quest is to Japan, like even now.
Yeah.
Like they had to move the releases of them to the weekends because it was negatively impacting the work of the country. It was like shutting the country down when Dragon Quest games were coming out. Because people were taking off and it was hurting productivity. Like it's that big there. But I think part of it is that like the appeal of like the cutesy monsters and things that we have that we love. Me with my monster encyclopedia literally at my desk right now. I think that this kind of thing, this Toriyama stuff, I think it does read very anime. Quotes, I'm putting that in quotes. And I think that that is something that is always immediately met with like an like not masculine enough kind of energy. Whereas the Japanese don't do that.
But it's so weird because Toriyama is like one of the most, I would say, normie accepted manga artists of all time. Like, if you showed Dragon Ball Z to a normie, they would know that's a Dragon Ball Z character.
But so but they got into it when they were younger, and are they as proud to talk about loving it when they're older, or is that just nostalgia protection, right? Whereas like Final Fantasy was appealing to men in their 20s and stuff. I think that's a little part of it.
Yeah.
Localization was also dog water for a long time for Dragon Quest. Not that it was any better for Final Fantasy, but like it was very much so like not as clear, so the stories were even harder to get across. And I think that they skipped really doing a lot on the Super Nintendo, which was kind of like when the genre really started to get its roots in the States. So I think that was also negative, that they just weren't in at the right time.
Right.
Because like, yeah, the PlayStation's where like Final Fantasy really blew up, but it had that established ground and heyday on the Super Nintendo.
That's true.
We didn't, no. And that's the thing too, even now, if someone is like, I want to get into Dragon Quest, it's so intimidating because some of the games, the stories aren't connected and interwoven blatantly, some of them. 3, 1, 2. So that's already different from Final Fantasy, and like that these things are connected, that's overwhelming. They're also just not accessible. It's really hard to play a lot of them. Some of them are on the DS, they came later. They were like, it was harder to find them. The starting point was not as easy to like grab and get one and do that. So I think missing the first wave, not really caring enough to be on top of it, and then also just its like marketing and its aesthetic. I think its aesthetic is not what, like, think about when like 7 really pushed FF to, you know, that market. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sense. Like we didn't get it on the Super Nintendo, which is, I think, a huge issue.
I just want to note, and it's because it's really distracting me, I think my camera is having a hard time with all of the eyes.
All the eyes? I love this.
I keep seeing it glitch focus, and I'm like, what's happening there? Oh, it's the eyes. Yeah, it's interesting because I had never really heard much about Dragon Quest until 8. And as I got older and I looked more into it, I don't know that 7 is like a really good entry because it's so long, and everybody I've ever talked to about DQ7 has said they love it, but it takes forever to get started.
Yeah.
And like I could see maybe that's why it didn't really click in the same way.
And that's the thing, right? If you think about it, like Dragon Quest didn't hit the Super Nintendo. So they're skipping that whole generation. They almost skipped the entirety of the PS1 generation in general, right? Because 7 came so late near the end of the PS1 life cycle. 8 is a more palatable game. It's more Final Fantasy-like. It's whatever. It's
well,
I think it is a safer one.
Level 5 got involved too, and like Level 5 is beloved as well. So
yeah. And they also released that in Europe at some point too. So it got a little bit more global exposure.
Lost an eye.
Oh no. But yeah, it's like night and day. Like I think it was just exposure. I think it's aesthetics. I look at how people react to the Final Fantasy 9. It's too cute. I don't like it. Right? Those are people who were buying RPGs at the time looking at a slime. Like this little fella is not gonna get those people as like involved. It's just I don't know. And it makes me sad because I have my moment. I think DQ is what Final Fantasy fans genuinely would want.
I think so
and it
too.
makes me laugh.
Because yes, they won't cling to it because it is too Anna. I do think that is it. And I'm seeing that conversation happen with Bravely Default, Octopath Traveler. These are great JRPGs, but like for some reason there's this expectation that if it's a Final Fantasy or it's a good JRPG, it has to look not anime. And I'm like, okay, what about Xenoblade Chronicles? I hear amazing things about that. They're the Trails series. Like Trails has been consistently putting out amazing games that people love. I'm completely afraid of hopping in there because there's so many titles, but like you can't tell me that that's not a good game. A good game, you know? And Persona.
I think too, this kind of comes back to why Persona and DQ are the way they are. It's like Final Fantasy was known for really pushing the boundaries of its visuals. The first thing you heard about Final Fantasy was how good its FMVs were once it started to really succeed. And they were constantly pushing boundaries graphically. And it just so happened that lightning hit when 7 and 8 were really rooted in realism. So at its peak of like growth, you still had Dragon Quest, which does not prioritize graphics ever. Like Enix never prioritized the visuals for those games. So they've always kind of hit a lower budget look because they put all their money into let's have as much content in here and silly mini games and costumes and whatever. Like play Dragon Quest 11 Echoes of Elusive Age. You're going to spend so many hours doing ridiculous stuff that you never would find in other games. And I really think that is the core, I think, disconnect. I think it's like Western audiences are just so obsessed with it that DQ isn't going to get taken at face value the same way people are shitting on Bravely.
Yep.
And all of that. Whereas E33 put a coat of very like realism paint on everything. Kind of like Metaphor ReFantazio, because you saw how people were treating Metaphor. It's an Atlas game. Yep. But they were like, oh, it's not in high school, which I was guilty of that too. Admittedly, I was like, oh, I love that it's not in high school. I love this. Like, I can relate to this more.
Isn't it curious that it's like as soon as Expedition 33 came out, literally everyone forgot that Metaphor existed?
Which is ridiculous. That was my game of the year last year.
It was a lot of people.
Loved Metaphor. What a good, it gave me so much faith in the future of like where RPGs were at the time. I was like, this is literally perfect. Loved it.
I do have an ad break coming up in 19 seconds, so we could take a moment. Also, Sleep Easy, thank you for 29 months. Big fan, love Sleep Easy.
I do love Sleep Easy.
Great person to have these conversations about too, especially about 7. I think my kids have finally... Oh, I can't tuck you in. I can tuck you in. I was about to just say, I think they went to bed. Okay, I will be right back. I'm gonna put it on the BRB screen. So, well, I guess you can't get up.
I can
I was gonna
wobble.
Okay, I was gonna say if you need to get up a moment, we take a little break.
Yeah, I'll get some thoughts in. I'll get some
Okay.
thoughts in. I'll come out
Okay.
spitting.
Put a bookmark in where we're at. I'll be
Mentally bookmark. Also, donate a lot so when B comes back. There's so much
Oh,
that has to happen.
okay.
And also, go tuck in the kiddos. I love this so much. Hold on, let me look. Oh, that's perfect. Good job. 10 out of 10. Hello. Yeah, I've been yelling at them that we were doing charity.
I've actually forgot. I forgot to mute you. Okay, well, that's fine. That's okay. Hi, Thor. How's it going?
I was yapping, so I think it was effective yapping.
Okay.
Some would say I'm an effective yapper.
I think so. why I always like yapping with
I don't think
you.
anyone actually heard me talking to my cats.
Okay.
I wish
Well,
that they
even
did, but I don't think so. I don't think anyone heard me yelling at Evander.
wait,
He's so bad.
8-Bit D is really mad about video. There's $25, by the way. But what does this say?
Abad is really mad about video games.
That's the name. When did you? You're mad. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm heated. I'm screaming. I'm screaming about video games. Jeff knows.
I
Jeff
lost
heard it.
2 eyeballs while tucking my children in. So, oh, and I gotta put other eyeballs on. Anyway.
Eyeballs on B.
Mm-hmm. How much for another Tom Hanks? Another $25 for a Tom Hanks?
Yeah, it's $25 for another Hanks. You can't just give the Hanks for free. You gotta raise money for the Hanks.
Okay.
Tom is very high class, very important.
Dang, that's so funny. We have naturally covered like
All the things you wrote it because this is what happens when you and I talk to each other.
almost
It's almost like we have time soon for
Dissidia.
CPU matches. Maybe we could let people donate and then they could choose their fighter through donations.
I like that. I like that.
I'm
Or
trying to find my PPSSP, whatever that thing is called. That PS is.
that's what I always call it. Yeah.
I don't know where mine is.
I got a good
on my
one.
PC.
What was the first Final Fantasy you tried and you bounced off of, and then when you came back to it, you enjoyed? Like, was there a specific one that you were like, oh?
Yes. This game got me canceled. It was 14.
Really?
I played
Wow.
I played 14 at launch, like on launch day. So that changes things. Not Realm Reborn, like actual 14 launch. Now, mind you, I had like 3,000 hours in 11 at this point.
Oh yeah.
So like I'm a Final Fantasy 11. That's my
Truther.
home. Yeah, that's my home. And I played 14 and I tried so hard to like it because I had been like, people were very much, because in the days of 11, this was like pre-World of Warcraft ruling and dominating the conversation, right? And then WoW kind of took over the industry. So now it was like 14 had this standard that it had to not only beat EverQuest and Ultima and Lineage, but like and every other goddamn MMO pre that time. But like it had to do what WoW was doing. And I was like, no, they're not going to copy WoW. They're not going to WoW clone. They're going to do their own thing. And sure enough, it really did feel like a WoW clone with Final Fantasy coats of paint on it. And it was a cluster mess. And I stopped. I was like, I can't defend this game anymore. And I went back to 11.
I don't blame you. As you know, I got into 11. I made it through Rise of Zillert. And I feel like it's just better, like a better paced MMO for me. I feel like as much as I put a lot of time into 14, it was the only thing I played for, I'm gonna say, the better part of 3 years from like after I first had Iris. I've gone to the fan fest. Like I love 14, but I have not logged in a long time because I played Dawn Trail. I enjoyed Dawn Trail, and then I was like, I just kind of want to get through my backlog, which I think the game is made to do that. But now, as I've been away from it for a long time, I feel like it seems overwhelming to learn all of the rotations and stuff again. Where 11, there's not really a rotation. It's more like menu based and it's slower paced, and I don't know. I feel like the demand is completely different and it's so chill.
It allowed for a lot of creativity.
Yeah.
And I missed that in 14. 14's like everyone's doing the same rotation.
It's a roller
Everyone's
coaster
doing the
when you're in a
same.
dungeon too. It feels like you're on the tracks. And that's not a bad thing, but like when we were doing I think it was Zval Castle, which was like I think pretty much the either end of base 11 before Zillert, or It's around there. It was so cool because we were like it felt like we were playing a tabletop game, essentially.
Yeah.
And everything just felt so much more intentional. And I think I enjoy that pacing way more. But I'm trying to pace my way through it because I enjoyed it. I don't want to blow through it and not have any more to play.
Yeah, I like 14 now. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like, even now. I mean, Shadowbringers is like some of the best storytelling that I think Final Fantasy's ever done. But I to this day I'm like, it's not, I mean, minus Shadowbringers, an Endwalker maybe arguably, but like the rest of it, I'm like, I think a lot Final Fantasy fans are very defensive, and I don't think that's really a reflection on the Final Fantasy community. I think it's more that MMOs do get that hive mind regardless, because I know so many people who are like that for 11 and they've never touched a Final Fantasy game.
Yep.
They actually are just like, it's just an 11, it's just a 14 and an 11 thing. Like, it's just MMOs. So it's like a different animal.
No, it's the other sentiment that I've encountered so many times is the amount of people who like genuinely will not even consider 11 or 14 as a Final Fantasy title. And I'm like, they very much are. They are, especially 14. 14's entire thing is that it's like an ode to everything before it. It is like a love letter. And
I'm fighting like, Kefka 1 minute and then I'm hanging out. Like the job quest lines too. Like origins of classic Final Fantasy creatures.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. But I mean, I'm not going to fault. That's the thing though. I suck at playing 15. It gave me motion sickness. I'm just going to keep using 15 as an example. It was not the game for me on release, but I'm not gonna be like, it's not a Final Fantasy game. It doesn't deserve the type, because like it just means I can't. It's not for me. So what? Yeah. Who cares? You know, that's why, again, the ego gets so heavily played. And I'm like, why is it Final Fantasy specifically? Why are the fans like this? I don't get it.
I don't know. And I think too, it's like there's a difference. I think the anger is never aimed at the right place, because like you'll have Final Fantasy fans be mad at other fan bases for other games when it's like we all love the same franchise, and then you also have it aimed at like Nomura, like we were talking about, and then even me, like when 16 came out, wrote a thread that kind of got seen by more people than I thought it would be, where I just was like, hey, like I went through a lot of grief. I was really going through one of the worst times in my life. I was really looking forward to 16's launch, and I can't play it. Day one, I get it. I can't play it. The motion blur, you couldn't turn it off. It was giving me seizures. I was so devastated because it was like the thing that got me out of this really bad period I was going through. And I was like, this is going to be the thing that I can focus on now. And I posted this. It got seen by a ton of people. And people were like angry at the game itself, not at the dev team. And it was so weird. And then even Ben Starr, and I played this voice memo for you. Ben Starr sends me a voice memo. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And he's apologizing to me. And I'm like, you didn't make it. Like, yeah, right. This isn't about you. You didn't make the game because you play Clive. Like, and it just felt, it was one of those moments where I'm like, I'm upset with the accessibility people at Square. That's who I'm upset with. Like, then someone along the way was like, yeah, put it out like this. We missed the deadline or something. And someone else signed off on it.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And yet you have the fans are being like, yeah, well, that's why turn-based is so much better. And I'm like, I didn't say that.
That wouldn't fix it, because you would still have the sickness from it, you know, because that wasn't even a battle thing. It's like, if you get motion sickness, it's generally the camera movement. And even if it was a damn turn-based game, it wouldn't make a difference. It's a lot of the reason I didn't play Expedition 33 on launch is because I played the early release that was like open to the Kepler creators, and I got sick. And I gave them
Right.
that feedback. I was like, guys, this seems like a great game, but I cannot do it. I got so sick. And normally I could tolerate 40 minutes of a game before it really gets me.
Yeah.
It was like 20 minutes and I was about to throw up. And I understand that they took that feedback seriously because I wasn't the only one. There were several creators who did, and that was adjusted on the release. But I don't.
Can I complain about that for a second?
Go ahead, you can. Yeah.
It's not to throw shade at E33, so please don't come for me.
Oh, I know.
But my issue with even after they fixed all of that was that every fucking time you load into a battle, it still has to say accessibility mode on.
Really?
As if like, yeah. And I feel like, and I don't know the intent, and I'd love to ask someone at the studio about this, but I'm assuming it's because if someone clicks into a stream, they're gonna see that like my camera's not moving around a million times. But it almost, and this might just be me being too sensitive as like a disabled person, but I was like, this game is so beautiful and it still looks really good when the camera is static. Yes, I know it's Sandfall, but I'm like, it doesn't need to be like oh yeah, this isn't how it's supposed to look kind of warning every time. Like it kind of felt like I was being shamed for playing on accessibility mode, you know?
Yeah. We're gonna need a couple.
Hated that.
We're gonna need a couple Tom Hankses. All donations are matched. For the next however many hours. Thank you, Unique. Much love to you, and thank you for 88 months. Couple Tom Hankses. I know that.
Yo, I got you. I was saying what, 50 a pop for a Hanks?
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Wow. Thank you. You're the best. Well, actually, you're all the best.
I got a really good.
Ooh, I like that
good
one.
group of Hanks.
Ooh,
Yeah, I like this one.
I like a sweater or scarf. Yeah, scarf.
We love Scarf Hanks. We're big fans of Scarf Hanks. It's pretty good. I should have done Sakaguchi. And I also find people are like, they find it hard pressed to like just sometimes admit that like they really liked, and I see this a lot too, where people are like, well, in this time frame, and I'm like, so you just say you like the Sakaguchi era of Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but that's what's
Go
so
play
weird.
Lost Odyssey.
They won't play. Okay, so that's the interesting thing. Fantasian. People will say, "Hey, you want the Gooch back involved in Final Fantasy? Have you played Fantasian or the Last Story?" People will say, "I have played Lost Odyssey," but they will never give a chance to Fantasian or the Last Story. Despite it having all of the boxes that these people want, for some reason they won't play it. And again, it's anime looking.
Yeah, it's an art style.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. It is a Hecdice cosplay. It's true. Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah, we got Pensive Hanks. How many do I need? It was 250, right? So 150, 100, 150. 200. I need one more Hanks. Don't worry, I have like 100 of these.
Okay, that's good. And well, right now, everything is technically doubled. So if you donate $10, that means that technically $20 is being donated. And with that in mind, I will do dual eyeballs. I don't know where they're gonna go, but we'll figure it out. I have a whole arm to go. Why did you wipe my party in FF9? Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter.
Also, I forgot how much tutorial is involved in Dissidia.
Oh yeah?
I booted it up. And I'm like, shit, if you were to do this, it would be a lot of tutorial unless you have a save file already.
I don't know.
I'm doing this for the team.
Hell yeah. Well.
Shine! That's what Cecil yells.
Oh, really?
Actually, no, not
they
Cecil.
picked such great voice actors, by the way.
I know.
Yeah, I always appreciated who they picked. Wait, what's up, honey? Oh. She said something to me and then she walked away.
Okay, I got it. Let's see. So quick battles. I'm just seeing what this is like. Oh my god, I forgot how many good characters. So the starting characters really were iconic.
Mm.
Warrior of Light, Furion, Onion Knight, Cecil, Bartz, Terra, Cloud, Squall, Zidane, Tidus. Like, just straight up in there.
Speaking of
I don't have
Dissidia,
everybody else unlocked.
what's your opinion of the new Dissidia mobile game that they put out? What do you think of that? I didn't play it. I don't have an Android, and that's where the beta was, and I wasn't gonna blue stacks it.
I didn't get to play, so I can't have a solid opinion. But I am of the mindset that more Dissidia is never a bad thing. I just wish that they would like commit.
Me too. Make it
if they would just commit.
Not just mobile. As long as it's on Steam, which they have a history of putting everything on Steam now as well. But
yeah,
I think they just need to actually have a genuine Dissidia title again. I think right now is a good time.
A major Dissidia title, and I think that they have to commit, promote it. You want to make that. There are so many Smash fans. Just lean into that a little bit more. Lean into obscure characters that people are gonna shit their pants about.
Yeah, I was excited to see Kryl. Like, that was really cool. There was a lot of people who are kind of dunking on the fact that it's a mobile title, and I'm like, you guys don't understand. The culture and the way that life is lived in Japan is so different from ours, where mobile and handheld is far more significantly just a focus. And it's just not the same. We take cars to get everywhere. So that's why there is always going to continue to be what people consider mobile slop. But all things considered, most Square mobile titles, not my cup of tea, so to speak, but they do live pretty long lives. I don't think you could ever expect any mobile title to live forever. Like, and that's kind of something you have to expect when you're shelling out cash for those games. Yeah. I mean, I would think. Beta was fun, but I put in the survey to have more single player options. It was heavily PvP, which may turn a lot of people away. That's what I read, and it wouldn't be my cup of tea. I don't want to play PvP. I'm not good at fighting games. I don't want to make anybody rely on me being a gamer. Who knows, though? Maybe I'll be the next big Dissidia streamer. That'd be funny.
Eyes on Dissidia.
Oh my gosh. Not a fan of some of the outfits, but I'm happy we're getting some. Yeah, it's just nice to see it's not Ed. I don't know. Gaia? Yeah, Gaia seemed cool. Did you see the screenshots of how they all differently text? And how the FF1 Warrior of Light texts like a grandpa? The way he holds the phone. I wish I need to find a picture.
Look at that immediately.
Hold on. Was it called Warrior of Light Boomer?
I don't think I can do CPU versus CPU on Dissidia B.
It said you could. I saw a couple of game facts. Hold on.
I don't remember it doing this ever, but I'm like, it has to be, right? Enter battle. We'll see. Yeah, they spend so much time on public transport. And I love mobile games for that reason too, but I realized I lived in New York City and Washington, D.C. my whole life. So like, I'm in that major metropolitan, like always on my phone playing games. Like I live on my Steam Deck and my Switch. I've never used my Nintendo Switch docked. They're handheld only devices for me, unless I'm streaming. And I realize that's because I'm on public transit, and most people over here are not.
I miss the era of the 3DS so bad because I lived in Philly then. I was always on a train or a bus, and like my 3DS was my lifeblood. And being able to use Street Pass And I really hoped that Switch 2 would have a Street Pass, but I was like, when the hell would I be carrying that around? It's too big. I wouldn't trust it. You just tried and you couldn't do it. That's fair. Yeah, I miss Street Pass, and I miss the music and the background. It was just nice. Miss it. Let's see, Dissidia.
I miss playing New Leaf.
Oh,
Not to go on an Animal Crossing rant,
you're
but
right.
I really don't like New Horizons.
Oh, I have good memories with my kids over it. That's what I got going. Okay, is it?
Okay, I think I know how to do this.
Okay.
Now. I have to like get rid of all the inputs.
Okay.
And unbind all the player 1 inputs, and then it might start acting like a CPU.
Okay.
Which is a very weird thing to do. We also don't have to do
How about tournament mode?
That's not a thing.
That's not.
Like, I don't have it. I don't have it on here.
Command mode? I
Nope.
lost an eye? No.
You lost an eye?
Oh, that's right. There's Dissidia 012 Duo. Do I have that on my...
I have that too. I didn't open that one, but I have that one
Hold
too.
on, let me see. Oh, I don't have it. Never mind. I thought I downloaded it, but I didn't. Well...
Oh, I think I broke it.
Oh.
Reset really quick.
Yeah, that one.
Just, if they want to be like Smash, they could have a hit on their hands. Final Fantasy fans are so those people.
I want a mobile Dark Cloud. Yeah, we all want a new Dark Cloud, to be honest.
Our default. Load. What is SNES doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, I only have story mode, arcade mode, quick battles in this one. But apparently if I unbind everything from player 1, it will go to CPU automatically. But we'll see.
Well, hey, if they make a new Dissidia, they need to make an easy CPU versus CPU mode, because sometimes we just want to
watch Hefka beat up Ultimecia for 6 hours.
NT gave us playable lock, so I respect it for that. Yeah, actually. I never tried NT. I just never messed with it.
I have it installed. I played it obviously like nonstop when it came out, but I didn't play the Steam port. And I've heard that has a lot of problems, so I'm curious to play it now because I love playing things with problems. But, you know.
Hey, chat, you got anything that we can yap about? You got any ideas?
Hear me out. Final Fantasy farming sim.
Oh, yeah, that could be good. Oh, thank you. I still had some beer. Thank you.
We basically had it in 14 with those like farms.
Oh, yes. Yeah, those were cool.
And I was like, damn, they could just do this. Story of the Seasons is doing it. Story of Seasons is doing it.
Harvestella. Even though Harvestella was, it was not as much of a farming sim as it was like a regular RPG. I feel like it was just marketed really badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harvestella, exactly. Best dried fruit? Mango. Snuggleability of Final Fantasy monster. I vote behemoths are top tier among with Moombas. I feel like Moombas deserve more time to shine as a mascot, and I think it's a crime that they're not stuffed.
Moombas never got their moment. I agree with you 100%. Moombas deserve the world.
Yeah, like, what the hell? Listen, FF9 deserved its place to shine. But, like, they didn't do anything for FF8. And I know I've gone on this rant before a million times, but that really pisses me off. Because...
I went on it today.
Why couldn't you make a Norg plushie Why couldn't you make Moomba slippers?
I
Like,
just want a Moomba onesie. That's all I want in this life. I'm very simple.
Nord could have been a Moomba. I need Lamias to return to Final Fantasy too. I really do. I miss him. I love him. I love the ones in 4 with the little butt crack hanging out. AV knows what I'm talking about. Every time I talk about the Lamia showing crack, she knows. She knows what I mean. I have a VV plushie too. I actually
have my VV back there. I have all of the 3D, like the ones that you can like pose. The like those way too expensive ones. I don't know. And then I have the jumbos. I have all the jumbos.
Which ones were? I know was there a Tonberry? There's a Chocobo.
Jumbo Tomberry, Jumbo Chocobo, Cactuar is back there, but I don't think they can see it. I think you can. And then Torgal.
So
I have the Tomberry Chocobo. The alpha one is the biggest one that I have. It's alpha.
Oh, I saw it in the background there.
Oh, it's back there.
Yeah, there.
Oh, there it is. Hold on, I'll move.
Oh, there it is. It's so cute.
That is so far back in the room. I think it's
so
massive.
Perfect. I wish I had
Torgal within a grabbing distance, but I don't know where he went. But my Torgal looks like he's been through some shit.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, that was disappointing. I stopped buying their jewelry too because I've been screwed over for my last 2.
Elise had, Elise had worked in jewelry and had a bunch of like insight on theirs, and she had said some things about the type of jewelry or like metal or something. I don't know. I'm not a jewelry.
It's changed over the years because I have my Yuna's necklace from 10 that I bought. My friend got it for me in Japan back when I was in high school. So like back when the game was out. And it's to this day, once I like, maybe I need to hit it with the silver cleaner, like here and there, like any piece of jewelry, but it looks like perfect. It is. And I get so many compliments on it. And I've been wearing that thing since like 07. And my most recent one, I got the Buster Sword, the limited edition one that has the materia in the hilt. Both the gems popped out. And it is tarnished to hell. And it's like doing this gross, like peeling. And I was like, this is wild. And I just like, I thought maybe it was an anomaly. And then I looked and my partner had gotten me one of Aerith's, like one of the newer Aerith ones. And that is also like already looking like crap. And I've tried to clean it. I take really good care of my stuff. Nothing. So I'm like, I'm done. They're plushies too. My last 2 Torgal plushies were like significantly lower quality. The only thing I'll say, collector's edition of Tactics, I thought had way better quality than like their past collector's editions.
It seemed really good. Mine still hasn't arrived, but it should be
cute.
Soon. It should be soon. Yeah, I'm gonna
like even these. They're like they're like really well made. They're like they feel stuffed properly. The stitching is really good on them. Everything. The like pop-up book was good. I have ROMs on my desk, so I don't know where to put them, but like these are all really like heavy. This was like the first time I had a collector's edition, and I was like, thank goodness.
Yeah,
like,
no,
they brought the quality back.
No, to be fair, the 19-inch Sephiroth is pretty good.
Yeah, I don't hate my 16 like with the giant Ifrit, but I just felt like everything else got thrown away, or not thrown away, but like is sitting in the box. I don't feel like I have every piece of it somewhere in my room, whereas with Tactics, every single thing I got in there, I have out on display.
I was sad. I packed a lot of my stuff away already for moving, and we haven't moved yet. But it's better that way, because my kids would take like, I have the little Quina and the frog and whatever came. Oh, Aiko and Mog.
Aww.
My kids would take them and play with them, and I'd be like, don't do that, please help.
I love that.
It's cute. But I have the plushies. Let's see. Also, yes, the vamp.
Accurate.
The vamp is very good. I agree. What do you... I need to enjoy SMT Lamia? It's fine. Do you want the next Final Fantasy installment to be turn-based? Do you think that
No.
is going to fix the problem that
No.
people have? Because I don't think it'll fix it. I think people will still be unhappy.
I don't think it'll fix it. And now it's just gonna look like they're following trends.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and now
that's never been their thing.
Because Expedition 33 got all of these awards this year, and you have all of these people who are trying to be loud on the internet. Well, see, Final Fantasy devs, this is what you need to do. In 6 years, that's what they'll do. But it's going to be too late. The trends will have shifted, and new things will be the preference, and then it'll look outdated. We're going to spend probably the next, I would say 5-6 years seeing Expedition 33 clones. And then people are going to be burnt the fuck out on turn-based.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And the person who was kind of like going on about 15 to me earlier, they're like, well, the devs were so out of touch, they didn't understand. I was like, actually, you really kind of have to look at like what was trending at the time. Even devs of JRPGs have gone as far to say that during like 2005 to probably around the time 15 came out, they viewed JRPGs as a dead genre. And I don't necessarily agree, because I think handheld consoles had amazing JRPGs coming out. And that technically, I think, is what kept any kind of interest alive for a lot of fans. But when you looked at like industry trends and what was in at the time, I think it was leaning more towards that like action-based Kingdom Hearts kind of gameplay, even if that's not what everybody else wanted. But Final Fantasy also was kind of, they've always been working towards doing something a little more actiony. Whether I like that or not, it's always been immaterial, but like it's always been kind of aiming that way.
Here's my thing. Strangers of Paradise, I think, is one of the best things they've come out with in like decades.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun.
And that was them not chasing trends, just doing something.
Yeah.
And it was action.
Yep.
So just do something like that. It's one of the best things they've come out with in years.
World of Final Fantasy as well, I really enjoyed. I agree, Rem.
Yeah.
The problem with that is it literally came out the month before 15. And I remember I actually played World of Final Fantasy more extensively than I did 15 on release. And you had all the people who are like, I want my turn-based Final Fantasy back. I'm like, go play World of Final Fantasy. It's literally right there. It's a fresh game. It's turn-based. It's essentially Pokemon. Like, like chill. And yeah, I don't know. Does Stranger in Paradise play like a Souls-like? Yeah, not in exactly. Yeah, Neo. It is the same team as Neo, actually. I've never played Neo, but I didn't think it was unfriendly to play. I thought it was actually really fun. And I feel like when I think of a Nomura game, much like people want to, say that he's this, he comes up with these convoluted plots. I think that game is a Nomura game. Kojima did write it, but I think conceptually that was him having fun. And I don't know if he intends for things to be as funny as they are, but they are so funny. Because I remember when
it nails the tone.
It does. And the funny thing about it is that, like, when that game was announced, nobody was excited for it, really. No. Everybody was like, oh, that looks like it's actually going to be cringe. And then I remember the demo came out. And people are playing the demo and just, like, having a blast. And, like, all of the different things, like the fist bumps. And people are like, oh, this is a bad game. Wait, no, this is a bad game. Like, a good bad.
Into the, like, the camp.
Mm-hmm. I wish more did that. Like more games were willing to lean into the camp, because that's part of what I like about the genre is that it's campy.
That's why I love, like, one of my
Nojima.
favorite.
Not Kojima.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nojima.
Oh my god, getting Kojima anywhere near a Final Fantasy is my worst nightmare.
Yeah, same, to be honest. Feet everywhere.
And I just think it's funny too, because the fans who are like complaining about the state of Final Fantasy a lot are the first people that I notice are the ones to pipe up and be like, well, we need a 10 prequel.
Hmm.
And I'm like, no, you guys, if we're going to get back to the Sakaguchi era where they're really collaborative, really innovative stories with really cool, unique systems, you need to stop. They need to stop pulling from the same shit they've been pulling from. They need to scrap it and start over.
And if you're not happy with what they have done with remaking FF7, why the hell would you want them to remake 10? And the other thing is 10 had voice acting. So there's like a whole different ballpark there. If they remade 10, which there's so many rumors that will happen, I personally don't think it's going to happen. I think it would be a terrible idea, but they are not going to recast the same people. And it's really hard to tell people this. They really don't understand that 25 years has passed officially in like the next year. It's the 25th anniversary. Those actors are in their 50s, 60s. They are not going to cast those people. And people are going to have a really hard time with that. I just know it. And maybe John DiMaggio could still play Waka. But like, aside from that, they will not... It's not going to be the same. And I just don't want to go through another 15 years of, oh, well, they changed too much. It's like, this is what you wanted. It's the same for everybody who says they didn't want an FF7 remake. I'm like, brother, yes, so many people were loud about wanting this to happen. So they did it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the other thing is, like, with all of this, like, if we're talking about the state of it or whatever, but like Square's problem, I think, has been leaning too heavily on these like existing IPs, and they're not like Expedition 33's success is because no one was a fan of Sandfall Interactive because they didn't do anything else prior. So everybody who's coming in is fresh and ready for this thing.
That's true.
And you do need to, like, why is 14 storytelling so celebrated? And it's because Shadowbringers especially was like doing stuff that really haven't seen, or like trudging on bits of storytelling that we haven't seen in MMOs. I don't think that necessarily means it's going to translate super well to like their expectations either for these things. Because like, look at what's another, like Sea of Stars, right?
Right.
We saw so much of that. Everyone hyped that up to be like, this is like going to bring us back to the Chrono Trigger era of RPGs. And it's like, no, because you can't recreate the supernova that was Enix and Square and those great minds coming together. Like the collaboration aspect at Square is so not where it was.
No, there's just, and I like Sea of Stars. I really did, but I feel like they leaned a little too hard on promoting it as the next Chrono Trigger. And I think that promoting yourself that way as an indie title, you're shooting yourself in the foot at this point because nothing will ever compare to what Chrono Trigger is for like the most diehard Chrono Trigger fans. And on top of that, Sea of Stars was not just Chrono Trigger inspired. There was like Illusion of Gaia in there. There was, I felt like Wild Arms. There's all kinds of RPG influence. And I feel like, I don't know, like I said, you sell yourself short when you're not marketing into that a little bit better.
Right. It was like set up for failure. And that's the problem too. It's like people are like, well, Square just needs to do this times this again. I'm like, no, they need to do something you're not expecting at all.
Yep.
The way it used to be. People, when we first saw 10, we were like, what the fuck is this? Why am I in the Pacific? Like, what is...
Yeah, it was a nice change from everything
going on. And that's how kind of what 14's been able to kind of do. Yeah. But they also have the lead in of this 10 years of this story. Like, we have so much loyalty to these characters, so it's really hard sell to be like, bring those, because I heard people being like, oh, just bring the 14 storytellers in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's not going to fix them. Starting from scratch is not going to give you a great RPG at all.
No. And I mean, when you think about it, 16 already had the Heaven's Word, which, like, that was I think that's the same writer from Heaven's Word did 16.
Yeah.
And Heaven's Word was
so
heavily
weird that
praised.
Heaven's Sword also didn't totally ignore its women. I mean, it didn't. That's a whole other issue that you and I could write a book about.
Yeah. Yeah, AV had mentioned, I miss that era of Square. I do too, and I agree with SNES. I just don't think financially they're ever going to be able to be that creative anymore. I don't think any major dev is ever going to have the freedom they had. Honestly, that was like Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, PS2. PS2, I feel like they had the most freedom because, like, they were riding on the success of everything that was done on the PS1, and maybe some of the PS2 games are garbage. I'm not specifically saying the Final Fantasy series, but, like, it's so much fun playing them, even, like, because a lot of them are really campy, and it's just, I miss it. I miss people experimenting. The only way you're going to get that anymore is playing indie games, but even... I don't know that we'll ever see Square get back to that.
They can't when they're not a Larian or a Sandfall that's not beholden to, like, the machine.
No. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it makes me sad because I think if once people stop expecting them to do what they used to do and just accept them as they are, we'll all be a lot happier.
Definitely.
I didn't think 16 was going to change my life. I just wanted it to be playable.
Right. I think I do this to myself a lot where I'm like, I look at the trailers and I'm like, oh man, I theory craft something that cooks way better than what the stories cook. And I just have to accept that it's never going to be what my head makes it out to be. Like, that's just how it is for me. So
there was a moment, like an epiphany moment in Rebirth, sorry, that I had, where I had that exact thought of, like, they're never gonna do this the way that I need them to do it for me.
Yep.
And I have to be okay with it. And I won't say what it is because it's a spoiler, but there's, like, it was a moment where something really, really serious happens in the original. And then they just did not let it breathe. And I think even just me saying this, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
No.
Straight into slapstick.
Wait. There are two specific moments, and I remember tweeting after one of the moments because it was one of the moments I look forward to the most. And it was the death of not the main character that everybody focuses on, but another one. And I'd actually just done the voice acted mod of the OG right
Same
before.
Scene, we're talking about the same thing. And
the way that was performed by not professional actors had me, like, I was like, oh my God, like, they have so much potential for what they could do with this scene. And then, it became like a Resident Evil. I don't know what the fuck happened. And then it was, I don't know. I remember tweeting specifically, I was like, I'm enjoying Rebirth, but I really feel like I'm experiencing wild amounts of emotional whiplash. And it's so funny, the song that's playing right now is another moment that I was, like, heavily disappointed about how they handled in Rebirth. The song that is playing right now is the song that plays when you see Red's father.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite scene, and like, that's a top 5 moment in all FF for me.
Me too. And I didn't even feel emotional. I could play that game, like, it's one of the scenes every time I play it, I get very specifically emotional, and I was kind of disappointed I didn't feel that. And I know everybody kind of like is like, oh, well, the end is the one that I felt. And I was like, I think the end is something that it's a cliffhanger on purpose. I really kind of expected it to happen, bless you, the way that it happened. Yeah, it's right here. The tissue box.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that it was left hanging, but I think pacing is like a huge struggle for.
Oh yeah, when you tell something in parts,
Rebirth.
it's gonna be, and that's just how I've always seen it. I hate that it's told in parts. I understand why it is, but I think for a lot of people who don't understand specifically television writing, they are writing things purposefully to be told for cliffhangers, not just for the new people, but also OG fans. And they've admitted as much, that they write things a very specific way because they want to keep everybody on their toes, not just the new players.
And they want the theory crafting. They want an online constant discussion between games. Mm-hmm. They love those theory videos on YouTube. Like that's what they want. That's not what Sakaguchi ever cared about. And that's the difference. It's just a difference in the era and the mindset creatively. It's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. It's just a very different, like very recently someone went up to Sakaguchi trying to do like theory stuff for Fantasia, and he was like, I don't want to hear it. Like it's just not.
I mean, I like that stuff, but I mean, I feel, and I've been a part of the theory crafting because it's their marketing campaign at this point. They heavily rely on between the parts, the theory crafting, keeping everything alive. That's why Ever Crisis exists. Let's be real, because what are they doing in Ever Crisis? They're just throwing breadcrumbs of information in there to keep people invested. And
that's totally not my thing, admittedly. No. And it's cool that like other people get into it and love it. It's so not my thing. And I think, but I'm okay with like accepting that that's not my thing. Yeah. But I understand that, like, that's why I go, I don't know if Final Fantasy is really for me anymore. Whereas Dragon Quest has stayed kind of true to its colors and is still just doing what it does. So I feel safer over there.
Yeah, Shani, I don't think it was as bad as the other scene I'm referencing, but I just feel like what you dive into immediately after, honestly, really cool lore. I just wish that scene had a little bit more time to breathe. And they just do it so often in the game, where even in the OG, when you think about it, from basically the time you leave Midgar until the end of disc 1, it is just like iconic moment back to back to back. So Rebirth was always going to be bound to be, hard pacing. I was baffled how they were going to do it to begin with. I still don't know how they're going to fit all of what they need to in the remainder of part 3, but I think there are a lot of things that can be rearranged. Disc 2 and the big materia quests are... I'm not going to be hurt if those are changed, because I didn't like some of that anyways. I also... Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, my hot take with 7 was always that I think the pacing in the original game isn't great. So, yeah, I think they could fix a lot of it.
Yeah.
I think it's messy.
It is. It definitely is. But that's the other thing that's so baffling, is that so many people treat it like it's and I'm like, the original wasn't perfect. They wouldn't want to remake it so badly if it wasn't for that. But you know why I think they really wanted to remake this so badly and tell the story again the way they intend? And I see it being built up over the course of the first 2 titles. It's because everybody focuses on the major character death at the end of disc 1, but they miss that the big plot twist isn't that. The plot twist is the identity crisis of Cloud. There are so many people I have met who have played and love FF7 and do not realize what or understand fully what happened there. And I feel like the end of Rebirth, without saying much about what it is, I think is just kind of conveying that in a way. And in the moment, I was really kind of confused, but when I reflected on it, I was like, oh, you're seeing it from his point of view. Because I don't think the rest of the party sees it the same at all. And I think there's a lot of potential, and I might be setting myself up for disappointment. But the live stream sequence, I think, might have a lot more potential.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Not that I think I'm wasting my time otherwise, but I just don't want it to feel like a chore.
Yeah.
And I think Remake felt like a chore. After the initial, like, oh my god, look at this, I was like, this feels exhausting. And I think it's just because there was so much like filler in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I didn't think there was as much in Rebirth.
Rebirth didn't have that. I was learning things about areas I cared about and kind of getting spoon-fed a little bit of like what they could do with it. And I was like, okay.
What if Cloud was dreaming the whole time during a soldier programming experiment?
What if it's Cloud is dead theory?
Also, hello. Hello, Cameroni. Thank you for 10 months. I am an eyeball monster. I'm worried about the pacing of part 3. Rebirth's pacing was a mess if you tried to do all the side quests. I didn't. Once I got to Junin, I did all the side quests in the first area, and then I was like, yeah, this ain't happening anymore. I can't do it. It was
I was like, nah.
I got Fort Condor is what made me go, no, nope. I like it. I think it's fine. I got it later. But I just wanted to experience the story.
I'll say, though, the side quests felt like they were ruining the flow of Rebirth for me, but they did not feel that way in 16 for me.
Yeah, and that's what everybody complains about with 16 too.
Yeah, and I felt like after heavy moments in 16, I appreciated like going and doing some of those things. I don't know. It worked for me in that game, but it did not work for me in Rebirth. But that also could just be the luck of which I, timing wise, hit those things, maybe.
You know, this made me think of another thing. I'm just trying to keep my eyes on because I feel them starting to get loose. I
guess we better donate while we have a match.
Yeah, actually, true.
I need more Tom Hanks. There's not enough Tom Hanks.
Yes, everything is double right now because of unique.
It's a sale.
It's a sale, yeah. So donate 25 is 50. But and I think we've talked about this a little bit before, but I feel like since becoming a content creator, it's kind of ruined my experience as well with the newer titles coming out. Tactics didn't count, but I did play most of that offline and I had a blast by myself and I couldn't fucking tell anyone for a really long time and it was stressing me out. But for Rebirth and 16, 16 first, I streamed that entire thing and I remember, and I don't normally stress about numbers, but I had the lowest viewership I've ever had in years. I think I had on my birthday, which I chose to stream, 28 average. And like, I'm a human, obviously, like that's a day that I'm gonna want to spend with people, but that did hurt a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not everybody's first choice for watching this, but leading up to it, I had so many people who were like, I can't wait. So when Rebirth came out, I was like, I'm not gonna stream the whole game on Twitch. I'm gonna do it on YouTube though, so that the people who do want to hang out can do that, and then I don't have to worry about being live and spoiled and all of that other crap. And it went better for me, but I still felt like I was rushed to finish it.
Streaming and being a creator, 100%. has changed my relationship with Final Fantasy games in general, but has changed how I approach playing them too. Like 16 was so wild watching just like no one be engaged in it. And it was like, ooh, is this gonna influence my enthusiasm for this game? Because I'm so used to having this many people here yapping at me about it, and now it's like a ghost town. Like that is, and I think that's like people who think that that's like, oh, you care too much, don't understand what we're saying about it. Like you just don't want anything to kind of alter your perception.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, when I play Final Fantasy or like anything like that, I want to lay back on my couch and zone out and eat Cheetos, like to get immersed. So
yeah,
it was definitely challenging, and especially when I never want to feel too critical of things right out the gate. Like I need things to simmer, and I think online when you're streaming games, you need to have opinions right away because that's what people are there, and there's an active conversation. And I need time to let things sit.
Yep.
Because I had a lot of negative feelings about all these new games, and I'm like, I can't express this right out loud because then it's going to be like, oh, you hate it. And it's like, no, I just don't know.
Well, and so something I started thinking about, even just as I'm talking about playing Rebirth and the scene, the average gamer, I don't think when they're making these games, they're expecting us to blow through these games in like a week, which a lot of people are doing. I think they assume that you're gonna go hit the save spot and go sit down and think about it before you move on. It doesn't really work for the one scene that we both had an issue with, but it probably would have helped with the later scene for me. And I think that's something I'm gonna somehow, whenever part 3 comes out, try to do for myself, where if I hit a major moment, I need to learn to go, we're not progressing. We're gonna sit with this. I think it might change my experience a little bit more. But yeah, I think people blow through games way too fast now because they don't want to get spoiled.
Yeah. I will say, and this isn't to go back to E33, but I feel like so much of the conversation right now is talking about like, why is that really successful? And why is FF like, quote, struggling? I say, quote, struggling. But I think so much of that is pacing, right? Or like just the way they lay out events, because that game really did, I think, do a good job of like putting you through something really dramatic, like we see in Rebirth, and then you sit by a campfire and you're like, okay, I can talk to these characters. Like it does give you that time, even if it's not what we used to have, where we were like walking around maps freely trying to figure out where to go next. I think that it succeeded in that, and I think that's like a big lesson for part 3.
Yeah.
You know, I hope. I don't know. I'm nervous about it.
I am too. I think that's reasonable considering everything.
Yeah.
I know Shiny mentioned about the length of part 3. I think about that too, but most of the game is on disc 1. And it went on to a 3rd disc strictly because of the cutscenes. So there really isn't much on disc 3 aside from it's the final dungeon. I don't remember if the Midgar drop happens then, or if that's still end of disc 2 or not. But disc 2 is Icicle Inn, Northern Crater, Medial, Giant Materia.
Yeah.
Weapon. Hella side quest, which I like I said, I think they're gonna change how the big materia quest is gonna be. So I suspect the next place that we like when part 3 starts, you'll go to Rocket Town because the Tiny Bronco is broken. I think Sid is going to be like, well, we need to get to, you know, or they're going to decide they need to go somewhere, but the Tiny Bronco needs to be fixed. So they go back And that's when Shinra is trying to start shit with the rocket. And I was a little disappointed that that wasn't there, but I think it makes sense to do it that way. So it's not, you know, a redundant back and forth. It kind of gets it in one swoop.
Yeah.
And that's why I also think that he's a really nice guy. Overall, he's a Southern gentleman, which honestly, aside from when he's around Shara and you first meet him, he is typically a really nice, like, Southern gentleman type. Like, look at how he
You're
is
not
in
allowed to say that. He
No, you're not.
smokes.
Well, I know, but I think that when when he goes back though, that's he's on the run right now. He doesn't he's running from his problems. Those problems are going to kick back in and you're going to see him pull out a cigarette and
I really like how they've portrayed him so far, and I know people get really weird about Sid. Overall, and you've done a lot of content around this.
Yeah.
And I really, that's like the thing I look forward to the most is like seeing how they kind of do that. Because I think you're right. I think it's going to be exactly that.
It would be good writing, but again, maybe I am setting myself up for something.
I hope not. Because that's so good. That's what we all want. Well, not we all, but like that's what a lot of people want.
Yeah.
I think it makes both camps happy.
And it lets him actually have a redemption arc, and he doesn't have to him and Shara living together and like both living in their weird guilt cycle.
Yeah.
And it never really made a lot of sense. I don't know. At the same time, it's kind of real. Like
when humans don't cope with trauma very effectively nor easily, so
no. But it's really sad we live in a world where there are a lot of people who are like, well, Sid doesn't smoke or abuse his girlfriend, so fuck Square Enix. And I'm like, really? That's the hill?
Tifa's boobies aren't triple G's anymore.
They still are, though.
I know, but they're not big enough.
They're not how they were portrayed in the cutscene at the end on the highway where they're like, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I always bring this up. But no boob does that.
No,
it does not.
No one wants to talk about how painful that would be.
No,
boobs hurt, y'all.
Yeah, they do.
I don't got them. I'm just saying, I don't even got them really, and sometimes they hurt. I can't imagine if you got them. That's not possible. Let the girl be comfortable. Why don't we love her?
And they're still big. People don't want.
She looks great. She's so attractive. She's beautiful.
Do you think they're going to use my likeness for Shara?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait.
I think that's your other big secret.
I don't know about that.
It's funny though, because saying they don't want realistic boobies from the crowd, that's like, I liked E33. It's realistic. It's like the same group of people.
Are there big boobs in that game? Because I don't think so at all. I thought they were.
No, that's the irony of what I'm saying. A lot of people on my feed who were complaining about Tifa are like, I love E33. And I'm like, wait a minute. What? Because everybody in that game is pretty reasonable. None of it makes sense. No one makes sense anymore.
No. Also,
is wild.
Is it getting late for you? You have to go?
It is 1 a.m., but I can yap for like...
Okay. We'll do like...
I do have to stream 12 hours tomorrow, so...
By the way, guys...
how that's going to happen, but... I just make shit up as I go along, so we'll see. Have you played Baby Steps? Not to pivot the conversation.
No, I've watched a lot of... I've watched you, Jess, Nandre, I think, play it. It seems really ridiculous.
It's brilliant. It's I mean, we're talking about all these RPGs. We really should be talking about Baby Steps. I think it's the pinnacle of storytelling in video games.
Okay, so tell me, explain the game to me like I'm 5 years old.
The narrative, there's a lot of animal penises in it.
I've missed that.
Yeah.
Oh. Why are they?
Well, you see, I don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
But you wake up in a different place and dealing with social anxiety and not knowing how to say yes to things that would probably be beneficial, you just say no. And the protagonist has to really pee, and they have pee anxiety. So they can't pee unless they're in like a locked bathroom with a door.
Okay.
And they're getting they're encountering things that could help them along the way to find their way to a restroom more easily, but like just being anxious and awkward. They don't really know how to say yes at the right time. So the journey's made more difficult, and you really have to learn to walk and learn to step through uncharted territory while facing that anxiety and also dealing with large penises from different animals. This is completely not made up, by the way. This is literally what the game is.
I only ever saw people playing it in just like baby stepping, essentially.
Yeah.
Like tiptoeing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't
Did you
beat
beat
the
it?
game yet, but I'm gonna try to beat it tomorrow.
It's weirdly relatable.
It's very relatable.
Wow.
It's making me think about things in life that it shouldn't.
I definitely wouldn't have thought it was that serious. See, but you know what?
It's
Devolver,
very funny because
I was gonna say Devolver needs more. Like they don't get nearly as much love and credit for the games they put out, because they put out some banger games and good people over there too.
Yep.
I love them.
Yeah,
Yes.
people do sleep on the best people. I love Jess. Jess did tell me at TwitchCon that I was like to ask him about Baby Steps because I haven't played it yet, and Jess is like, "Oh, it's you in a video game," and I should have taken that to heart because like they actually know who we are as creators and people. It's not just like you're on my list. I sent you an email.
Very
which
much
is rare in this business. Honestly.
Very much an unlearning toxic masculinity, as well as so donkeys are enhanced in the. Is it like Red Dead Redemption detailed where like the balls shrink when it's cold outside?
I have been playing with like the safe mode.
Oh, it's not my birthday, Wolfie.
been
No, it's
playing
Final Fantasy's birthday. Thank you. Thank you. My birthday's in June.
It definitely has like probably I'm playing with the censorship because I'm live and I don't want big penis on my stream, but I'm sure maybe there's some shrinkage. It seems like a game that
This
might
is
have
probably
some
why
shrinkage
I
stuff.
didn't realize there was penis, because everyone's playing it censored. The game is called Baby Steps, Zreka.
Well, it's pretty it's pretty obvious that there's penis, I think, even when it's censored.
I don't know how I missed that.
It is a climbing game, but it's so much more than that.
It's deeper.
It's got depth. It is deeper.
Well, you convinced me.
Well, I don't know if you know Quark Beast, but Quark Beast is like a fantastic individual and community member of, and they are like down to make lore videos about it because the lore is so real.
Wow.
Yeah.
What if the next Final Fantasy is about something like that? That's what they should do, honestly. No one would
just do a
expect it.
climbing sim. I'm in.
A climbing sim?
Kojima made a walking sim basically with Death Stranding, and it's great.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played it, but yeah. And I know
like Death Stranding.
I know a lot of people felt a certain way about Death Stranding 2 not winning anything this year, and I'm like, Kojima, like
He's
the Game
fine.
Awards,
He's gonna be okay.
He'll live. Like he's fine. Those Game Awards exist for Jeff, whatever, to fucking impress him at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe not this year. He was more into Miss Piggy, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Putting climbing parkour sections in their games. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, Expedition 33 had some jump puzzle bullshit in it, you know?
Well, 15.
As long as not the gold saucer, I can't do that again. I can't do those leap of faiths in the gold saucer anymore. I'm traumatized.
Oh. The next FF should have an animal as the main character, that or a woman of color. Oh, or, oh man. Okay. Those are good. My other one is old woman.
That's what I want. I was just going to say, I want age to be like the barrier so badly.
So another thing, I made a tweet. So it was during the Game Awards. They showed that game. I forget what it's called, but it stars an old
Chicken
woman.
feet.
Yes, that
Chicken
one.
foot.
And I said, you know what? I want the next protagonist to be an old woman. And I got a bunch of people who are like, yeah, but what about the target audience? They're not interested. They're all too young. I was like, how old do you think Final Fantasy players are? Because they're not 16 anymore. They haven't been since I was 16. The average Final Fantasy player is probably 30, 35 years old. And that is part of the problem because kids
don't know who the player is anymore. I think that's most of the problem.
No, but even the fans don't, because the amount of people I had to say that, and somebody was like, you know, don't you remember what happened with FF12 because Vaughn? I was like, Vaughn, oh, don't even get me started on that one. I was like, that's not even true, first of all. But second, no. Clive was like 32, 33 years old, and people actually, that was like the only thing people really didn't complain about with 16 is they loved Clive. He was a great main character. Yeah. So they age.
Are you going to hit the lottery of Ben Starr again, though, too? Because I do think a lot of Clive's likability, whether people admit it or not, came from the fact that Ben is very likable and a big fan of the series.
Definitely. That's hard.
Great performer. It's not taking anything away from Ben, but are they going to land the jackpot of finding a Ben Starr to be the next VA for their game?
I'm sure he'll make an appearance and everything moving forward. I just kind of have
he
a
will.
feeling.
I mean, he was in Tactics and
yep, which was cool to see because right before that was announced, I had been saying on stream, I was like, you know, I'd really like to see him play a villain because he's always like a hero, I guess, but I want to see him but now I want to see him as a real I mean, Gafgarian, he wasn't Gafgarian.
Prometheus.
Sorry, he's Dystarg. No. I really want to see him. And then the guy who does the voice of Roche, I think would be an amazing Kafka.
Stop that right now.
Yeah, I think they should. I don't want a remake, but if they did cast that, because he was made for that role, in my opinion. Get Greg Chun for the next game. You know, Greg Chun's pretty good too. He'll play all of. Yeah,
I am so curious. Like, I think they're going to be so careful with what they even say about 17. I think that it's going to be it's going to be very different. I think it's going to be so tight-lipped even till day one. I don't think they're going to reveal as much. I think they know better.
I don't think they've really even started on it. I mean, the one thing I got from that PowerPoint slide deck thing that I went through last week, the shareholders currently, and they aren't the most trustful resource, but they don't see any value in Square beyond 2027. So basically what they're saying is after part 3, there's nothing that is planned that they trust currently.
Yeah.
And the only things I could think of that would be like big money makers is another installment.
Or like a
FF9 remake
expansion,
which to me also read FF9 remake. I feel like we can just say it's probably canned. If it existed, it's canned.
Yeah, it's not happening.
They missed the mark.
I'm so happy it's not. Personally, it's my favorite game of all time, and I don't want to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Unless Sakaguchi is coming back.
Well, I thought maybe
Daddy's home.
Yeah, right. I thought maybe with Fantasian that was maybe part of like an agreement. Right. But I basically.
And my dad is not there. My real dad. I don't want it.
Also, hi Eric. My worst fear is that 17 will be a Souls-like because they were trending years back, and it'll come out now that there's tons of Souls fatigue. I actually don't, because they already did Stranger in Paradise, and that was pretty close to that because yeah, it's Neo-esque, and I don't
They're
think
testing the waters with that. I think
they're going to be hypercritical on what they do next. We were talking about it earlier, Arcane. I think we're more concerned that they'll go Expedition 33 route, and then people are going to be fatigued on all of the Expedition 33 clones that start to come out in the next few years.
there's gonna be so many. There's so many already. I just heard about another one today.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And I was like, please don't do that.
Yeah.
But I think it's about to be overload with turn-based, like very stylistic.
Well, even what Sandfall
RPGs.
does next is going to have such a large lens held over it too. Like everyone's, I would not want to be them right now. And
No, I
I'm-
said that too. It's like Larian, right? Like
Mhm.
Baldur's Gate 3's follow-up too. You have these two companies that are now being held to this like exorbitantly impossible standard to live up to. There's no way.
yeah. And I don't want to, because I've been talking about it in Discord so much this week, but like now the AI thing is becoming a big point because of what happened. Like Larian, I think the CEO had said something about being open to AI stuff. But I don't know. I can't begin to understand game design, and I don't fully understand because there are instances in which he has also stated he doesn't want the creative process to be affected by that at all. But at the same time, like, I'm like, okay, so then what do you mean? But now, and I think the timing is strange and it's very weird because it was well known before, but Expedition 33 has a lens being held over it now too. Oh my God. Bye. Because there was like some kind of AI placeholder that was patched
There's
out.
an asset. Yeah.
But it's so weird to me that people are like now making a big deal out of it, even though it was talked about when it happened. But it's only after it wins all of these awards that people kind of kick it up. And I'm like, you're just trying to figure out a reason to shit on it.
Right. And
I
that
mean,
doesn't
it's-
absolve the fact that it's a
No.
bad thing.
No,
But I
not
also
at
think
all.
there's nuance to these conversations. I also, and this doesn't, again, and I'm hesitant to ever talk on this because I think people will just immediately take something out of context and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be hard pressed to find any game you're playing right now that hasn't used Gen AI in some context. It's everywhere right now. It's a plague in our industry, and that doesn't make it okay that they used it, but it's everywhere. And a lot of people who are being like holier than thou about it, I'm like,
Yeah.
a lot of you people are mad Arc Raiders didn't get nominated, and that was one of the biggest culprits with its VAs this year.
Yep.
So it's everywhere. It's an issue in the industry. It's widespread. It's a big problem. It's not just E33.
No,
it's, like,
it's
that's
not.
The spotlight
No.
because they won a lot of awards. I get it, but this is an issue everywhere.
Yep. And I think it's not going to go away. But the problem is also a lot of us aren't educated on any of it, for one. And I think that if we hardly understand a lot of it, there's a very large chance that most producers and higher ups have no damn clue either. And like, I was talking today about how like I was looking for clip art on Canva and Adobe Stock, and the amount of stuff that was AI was pissing me off. And I'm like, okay, I was able to recognize that these things were AI, but it's getting better and better by the day. There is going to be a day where I encounter an asset and they're not labeled as such because there's no regulations that force that to be the way it is. I'm not going to recognize it and someone's going to cancel me over it. And I'm going to be like, oh, I didn't know. So that's why there needs to be better regulations because most people have no damn clue. They just don't know.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you for the raid. Someone's playing tactics.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Where Winds Meet is another one that I like.
Yeah. That's like riddled with AI, right? I don't know any. I didn't look at it. I didn't
it's
research
like
that at all.
NPC dialogue is what I think is the situation. I don't know. I sometimes have a really, like, my current moral dilemma that I've been hitting with AI is that, you know, I feel like a lot of people are really focused on the data center thing, and the data centers are bad for the environment. But am I really that much better by streaming on Twitch? You know, like
yeah,
that's
it's and we're working with Amazon, right? And that's like,
yeah.
it kind of goes back to like the gambling thing, right? Like, you want to have a hardline stance against other platforms because they support gambling, but Twitch is running gambling ads on this platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, where is the line, right? And I think that's the thing. And it's like, you can have an issue and use your platform to spread good and like discourage the use of Gen AI or whatnot, but you also can't, I think, be immediately throwing the book at other things unless you're a goddamn expert, you know what I mean?
And
I'm not.
I don't know.
I don't
Like,
claim to be. I'm trying to learn every day. I think I have a responsibility to. But I think sometimes having reasonable takes like that, like, hey, I'm still learning and I'm trying to understand, is
I
like
agree.
really frowned upon also. And it's like,
Yeah. We have
like,
to have
it's
some
tough.
room, right? Like, you gotta have
There's
some
not a
room.
lot of nuance, and it's scary as a creator because people are just getting cut off for like trying to learn or like trying to not immediately be like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't
nobody
know.
wants to meet in the middle anymore. It's hard. And it makes people go more inward, and going back to
Right.
baby steps, it becomes really hard to ask for help when you need it or admit that you're
See?
wrong. And I see
Game
it.
of the year.
I hope so.
Baby
Also,
steps.
thank you, Clintonicus, for the raid. I hope you're doing well. It's not my birthday, guys. It's not my birthday. It's Final Fantasy's birthday. I'm not 38 yet.
Final Fantasy.
We got a little bit of time.
Little did Sakaguchi know. Little did he know.
Yeah.
Boy, he was just trying to go back to school.
Honestly, yeah, that's the funny thing about it. Well, remember that time that
Oh
we
my
did
God,
that we did that
Yes, sorry.
podcast together. And
Mhm.
but here's the thing, I can't fault anybody for that, because I also was told the wrong thing for years. And then when I
Right.
started looking into it more and looking at the history of Final Fantasy, I was like, well, where the hell, why is that such like a common practice thought of how the series
This
started?
came to be.
So for anybody who doesn't know, I actually, when I started my series playthrough, I did kind of a talk on the history of Final Fantasy 1 and how it came to be. And the big rumor is that it was Square's last chance.
They were going
bankrupt. Or they were going to go bankrupt. And people still tout this as truth, and it's not.
And they said they named it Final Fantasy because it was their final game. Like,
he just liked FF. He wanted it to be fighting fantasy. That name was already claimed, I think, by a tabletop game.
yeah.
So Final Fantasy ended up being the situation. So basically what happened, Square was making very different games at the time. And the Gooch worked there, but was actually thinking about going back to school and pursuing a completely different career. And he proposed this idea as a fan of games like Ultima, on like those kinds of games, more Western RPGs, D&D, stuff like that. And Square gave him a very small staff and said, make it with this team. This is your budget. And that was it. And they did it. And it was a lot more successful than they ever could have imagined. It wasn't, and I don't know that Square would have survived. I just don't know that Square would have become a JRPG.
They had other assets that they were going to like liquidate, and they were just going to restructure. Like, they weren't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Sakaguchi is the Gooch. That's or Gucci, whatever you prefer.
Yeah,
I call
Gucci,
him
the Gooch.
I call him the Gooch, though. That's my go-to. Yeah, I think
He's
they
the
were
Gooch
doing
for
like
me,
a
too.
lot of racing games and stuff like that. It just would have been very, different, but there is this, like, everybody puts it out there. And D and I were on this, and like, there were a lot of great creators on it, but we were put on a spot where we had to like, actually, you're wrong.
Yeah, because these creators were running with it, and we were like,
That's not true.
But you and I have also played way more of these games and researched way more than most of the people that were on that thing.
Exactly. And I think that's an interesting spot that you and I mean, AV was here earlier, kind of face as ladies. Is that people always like don't like anything we say just kind of doesn't matter because we're girls. It doesn't matter that we've played it for however many years. It's insignificant because I have boobs.
Yeah, I had this recently where I was playing Castlevania.
Wow, there's
like,
Castlevania music on right now.
Oh, wow, really? I have like an encyclopedia brain knowledge of that too. Like I'm obsessed with the development of Castlevania and I love it. And it's never like a central focus of my content. So like people don't know that so much, I guess, per se. But I was talking about the game the other day and I got immediately like someone being like, well, you see, these games are hard and like you don't, when you play them. And I'm like, why are you assuming I haven't played Castlevania? Like, why would that be the assumption? That like I don't know anything about it and like you're explaining to me that they're challenging. I have more hours in Castlevania than that person probably ever in their life. And I was like, it's just a weird automatic assumption. And a friend of mine who's also a retro streamer messaged me and he's like, what's so funny? That guy came into my chat and we were talking about Castlevania, the new hack that came out, and he didn't assume I knew nothing about it at all. And I had a whole conversation with me, asked me if I had played it. And I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm a woman, bro. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
And it was like, he was like, that's so weird. I've never seen it in real life. And I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Plantonicus.
And
I can't name every game. I'll say that much. Thank you for the sub though. But go on.
No, it's just like I go through this all the time when we talk about Final Fantasy as well. I'm like, it's not like I have like a command or whatever that lists all the ones I've played, and like immediately people try to challenge me on it. And they're like, well, I bet you haven't done that one. And I'm like, look at the list. Like, why are you assuming? And I say this all the time too. I've never met anyone that's played more Final Fantasy than me. I think you are the only person that's there with me or near me because you hadn't played 11 at the time.
No,
and it's true. Like, that's not like saying we're better than anybody.
No,
but it's
not
like,
at all.
I don't think we get the representation in the big content space, in the FF discussion, in those panels, in those spaces that we should. And we're often correcting the people that are doing it because they don't have.
And you know what's interesting too is that so many of the people who do get this, again, and it's no shade, but I feel like a lot of them end up, telling me on the back end, I really look up to you. And I'm like, well, thanks.
Right.
Thank you. I just don't know what to make of. I'm honored, but I get like kind of shocked at that because I'm like, why do I look up to you? So why do you look up to me?
Right.
Like, thank you. It's very nice to feel recognized in that way, but it's a very bizarre, I don't know. It just always throws me through a loop. And as the content space surrounding Final Fantasy has grown, it feels like I've always just kind of stayed where I am. I have been obsessed with Final Fantasy as a series since I was 4 years old. It's never died. Even in the times that I wasn't gaming, like that the game was in the back of my mind. It made me interested in going into a creative space. I went to film school, wanted to be a writer. It was an inspiring thing for me, I wouldn't have even like the life that I have if it wasn't for this series. And I'm not trying to be emotional, but that's like the reality of it for me. So it's always so strange to see people get as competitive as they do over being like the biggest Final Fantasy creator. Cause I'm like, bro, we all just like a game.
Right.
Like,
We
I
just want to
used-
have a seat at the table to have a discussion. It's not, I don't need
Mhm.
to be the go-to person.
Yeah, it's not a badge you wear. I
Mhm.
always say, you know, like, I have a little bit of the Final Fantasy autism. It's okay. It's okay. It's the thing that I like have focused on, and it's been
Right.
honestly a healthy outlet for inspiration and good conversation
Yeah.
and friendship. Like, I really, I don't know. And just
I
it's weird.
think it's hard to watch, like, right, because we talked so much tonight about the fandom and like the negativity. And I think
Mhm.
that narrative with social media is so prevalent that it can take away from like all the joy that has
Yes.
come from it. And that's like the big overarching thing. And I